Hello, everybody. How we doing?
Doing wonderful.
Okay,
Pretty
good.
good.
Good. I wasn't sure if
Sorry,
there
I
was
thought
a
it was a
delay.
rhetorical question.
No, it's an actual like, hi, how you doing?
I like the kids show. How's everybody doing?
That's
I can
great.
see Billy out there, and I can see Tommy.
I
And
feel like that's just a really great like intro to cold reading. Like it just teaches kids like I'm sensing a J. I'm sensing a J. Um, yeah.
My
Anyway.
name's Janice.
Oh my God, what? Yeah. Well, anyway, welcome back, guys. This is great to have you. I'm glad that we got so many of these cool things sorted out. We get to play with our new toys, and we get to put you guys out onto the open seas. So, quick recap from last time. You guys finished up some of your conversations with some of your new friends and allies within Vulcanos. You then finally made it to the Tachis, the ship that has been kind of co-opted for your purposes, a military patrol ship that has been instructed to bring you along on their patrol to investigate anything that they could possibly find and hopefully find the source of the pirate attacks and uncover the bizarre mysteries that are befalling land of Mistros. Arriving on the ship, you met its wonderful cast of characters. You met the captain, the very large, very stern and well put together Aramis, the Minotaur. You met the very boisterous and joyful Nome and his his companion Owl, Matisse. And then you met the bosun quartermaster Syrah, and then the former former ship captain and now currently cook, Pelagia. After settling in with a little bit of shenanigans, a little bit of cultural struggles, and laying down the social and organizational hierarchy of who's in charge of any given situation, you guys finally shipped off and have entered the open sea of Mistros. So, Thurgle, you would know you are currently in the Delphos Strait, or channel. Currently, in the Delphos Channel. It is the small stretch of ocean that exists between mainland Mistros and the rest of the Central Isle, or the Central Kingdoms, essentially the main continent, and the isle where Vulcanos is located. So, you guys are to move about the cabin, as it were. But you are set off. It is kind of mid-afternoon at this point. The sun is lower in the sky, not quite time for sunset by any stretch of the imagination. But you are well on the way, and the crew quickly gets to work, hustling and bustling and making the ship go. What are you guys doing?
Have I finished turning Thurgle's familiar into an octopus? It's an hour.
Is it an hour long? No, I'd say you still got quite a lot of time to go.
That's what I'm doing.
Okay, yeah, you've probably got about 50 minutes to go.
While
Almost
she's
that full hour
concentrating
still.
on working on that, while she's still working on that, I'm going to lean over to Thurgle and just be like, hey, you want to cast bits on how long it's going to take before she loses her damn mind on this ship?
Which one?
Good point.
Brutal.
It depends. If we're stuck at sea, I'd give you all at least a month. And that's if the food holds up.
Question to GM.
Yeah.
How long was the ship journey that I had to take from my people's land to the mainland?
Oh, that's a really good question, and one that I have not calculated yet. Couple,
Old 10d20s.
directly, a couple weeks. Yeah, I'd say at least a few weeks, maybe about, three or so weeks.
So then I'm going to tell Fergal, hey, don't. 1 week on top of what I've already gotten used to. I think I'll be fine.
You'd like to think that, but I've seen worse happen in fewer time.
True, and I don't know these waters like I do at the ones close to home.
Yeah, so I would say a month, possibly a month and a half for you, since you have experienced something.
Fair. What do you think of the snake lady?
She's a very fit quartermaster. She does seem like she'll be.
That's not what I'm asking, Fergal, and you know it.
I'm saying she is a very fit quartermaster. They are very attuned in how to cause pain, and in some cases, extreme pleasure. It's a very thin borderline, if you know what I mean. Depending on the crew, they were into it. Oh, I'm so bad, quartermaster. Hit me. It was weird.
Jot down in notebook. Circle is into BDSM.
Lima, you guys are above deck still because we saw the cast off, right?
Correct.
Sparks is up there probably hanging out with Lima at this point.
So I will overhear that, and I'm probably gonna snort, like just out of like.
Fair enough.
Of course, I'm a cleric of Hephaestus. What can you say?
And at that point, I'm going to send Freckles out to just kind of explore the ship and find little nooks and crannies to know like where safe places are and maybe any secret passages or anything, that she can discover on a small scurrying level.
Okay. All right. Sure. Go ahead and roll a perception check for your
All right.
using
moment.
their stats, not you. To clarify.
Yes, I gotta figure out where to find this on the mobile app because it's very different.
Stoat stats.
Stoat stats. If you need Stoat stats, I'll do my best to try and find them.
I can also help out on my end.
I will need help because apparently this area of the app is under development and not currently available.
Hey, you know what? Yeah, it's fine.
Give me just a beat. I'll give you a number.
I believe we're using the Weasel stats, right?
Yes.
Cool. Advantage on hearing or smell, so you're looking, so not really smelling.
Perception's +3. Passive perception's 13.
Yeah, perception +3.
All right. And is this advantage because she's looking?
No, advantage only on sight. Oh, I'm sorry, on hearing and smell, not sight.
Got it. Okay, so +3. That's a nat 20 +3.
Very nice.
Alright, Sparkle's showing up.
Okay. Great. So I'd say Sprinkles spends Freckles.
There is no goblin in this campaign.
You're right. I'm sorry. It's all the same, right? I mean, Sprinkles is really just a stoat in disguise.
You know what? That's
Like,
probably not
10
inaccurate.
10 stoats in a goblin suit.
Yep.
That explains all the hair color shit.
Right. Okay, so yeah, and kind of the whole next 15 or so minutes, I'd say, runs kind of up and down, has to avoid some of the crew, who those of whom who spot Freckles freak out a little bit. Rodent running around on a ship is usually not a good sign. But you do get a pretty good, from what you can surmise, layout of the ship. Doesn't seem like there's any hidden passages. It's not a huge ship. It's not a smuggling ship either. It's pretty straightforward and bare bones. The only kind of point of note, other than like your own quarters, would be kind of the storage hold, kind of in the lowest part of the deck, like all the way in the back, is where they keep a lot of weapons and armor, food supplies, that kind of thing. Yeah.
Sounds good.
Cool. Oh, and training dummies, of course, because that was mentioned before. But yeah, it seems like it's a pretty, run of the mill, bare bones, very Spartan, military ship. It's designed to go places, fight things, um, not really carry stuff. Okay. So that's your familiar's 15 or so minutes. What do the rest of you do? Other than Valerica, who's obviously like magic.
I'm gonna pull out Adair. Oh,
Okay.
Go ahead.
No, please go ahead, Selima.
So I was gonna pull out Adair just to make sure Adair can get some bearings.
Okay.
And see good perching spots, especially up on the mast, as long as it's not being otherwise occupied by something else. But yeah, just to get a good chance at understanding what we're kind of looking for too.
Okay, dokes. Go ahead and roll a check as well. Can we get a look at the lay of the land?
Advantage on that +4. That's gonna be 13.
13? Okay.
Yeah.
With a 13, kind of to the southeast-ish of you guys, there is the very large isle, volcano and mountain range of Volcanos. The Carestos mountains kind of stretching quite a bit to the south. You can definitely see the like kind of what looks like a little bit of a band of a landmass in the distance. See the tops of the mountain from the mainland. From here, it's not super far away, and it's pretty flat space. You guys can get a pretty clear view of things. Otherwise, kind of looking around, you can see like little fishing boats on the coastline. You see what look like trading vessels, other military ships similar to your own. It's not densely packed as far as traffic goes, but there's definitely movement. This is definitely higher traffic areas. The ocean kind of narrows into this one little channel and then it opens back up on the other side of the isle. So yeah. Nothing amiss right now. Pretty calm.
Okay.
Pretty clear skies. It's pretty nice so far.
Is it big enough that we're going to sail right through, or should we have concerns like the Suez Canal?
Oh no, it's huge. It's like 20 some miles across.
Perfect.
Yeah, it's like 20-30 miles across. Like at its narrowest, it's like I think 20. So you got plenty of space. You're not gonna get trapped unless something terrible happens. Yeah, and it's a well-navigated area. Like Thurgo's looking around, like he knows exactly what this place is like. Yeah. Okay.
Smart.
So what is Selima doing? Well, or are you looking through Adair's eye the entire time?
No, I was letting Adair get Adair's boundary, or kind of footing on this, because
Okay.
the only other ship Adair's been on has been the vessel on the river. So
Fair enough.
as far as I know,
Definitely
so
different.
familiars are really new.
Yeah, definitely different. Seas are pretty calm right now. There's still kind of that like it's not river smooth. Like the river that you guys were on was like slow and lazy, and like the boat barely rocked or moved or did anything. But this was kind of like it's got a little bit more of a heave to it. But for the most part, smooth sailing. Yep.
Sick.
All right.
So as far as Selima, I'm just kind of observing. Comment to DM, you did mention that we could learn a language.
Yes. Are you paying attention to any language in particular?
What have I got in my options right now?
Well, they're definitely speaking. You definitely hear Mistrosi. That's definitely being tossed around. Kind of paying attention. Go ahead and make a perception check to see if you can pick up on it.
+7 on that. That is a 22.
22. Okay. I would say with this crew, definitely Mistrosi, definitely common. You pick up on Dwarvish. And then let's see. You do pick up on what you assume is Minotaur, considering that it is Captain Aramis talking with First Mate Nome.
All right. So I'll probably pick up on either Mistrosi or Dwarven.
Okay, cool.
Probably more
So
Dwarven.
we'll roll a check for each day to see how much you're learning.
Fantastic.
Okay, sounds.
That being,
Yeah.
I say that being said, Liv has no desire truly to learn a whole new language right now, but she's going to make observations to see if she can pick out choice swear words from each available language.
Okay. All right. All right. Well, we'll consider that part of your learning, for sure. So that's funny. Okay. And what is Thurgle doing?
After having the brief conversations with Liv and Lady Valerica, he's going to take one of his favorite positions, essentially standing on the side rail, holding onto one of the ropes, and just peering off into the ocean and just embracing the entire thing.
Okay. As you do that, you feel the very cool air blowing against your face. The spray of the sea picks up. You can feel already your skin is beginning to develop that kind of sticky, salty, like sheen and feel to it. There's something, you're used to the grime of the forge, but there's something so uniquely special about spray of the sea. You know, it's a different, like a different kind of covering and arm comfort for you. As you're doing this, go ahead and make a wisdom save for me, please.
#like concerned.
17.
17? Okay.
Yes.
As you are holding on to the rope, feeling the eve of the ship that crosses the ocean, the feeling of being back almost overwhelms you. But instead of settling into feelings of regret or revenge, you just settle into that comfortable feeling of and the first time in a while, you know that there's trouble on the horizon. You know that you're going into danger. But for now you can be a little peaceful.
And I'm just going to sit there and take that moment until the last second I can.
Okay.
In all the time I've spent around Thurgle, I don't think I've ever had the chance to see him look so at peace, at ease. Like, he was excited when we got back. This is a whole other version of him. So I'm just going to be like marveling at him and being like, oh, look, another side to Thurgle. He is a deep character. Look at him go.
All right. So you spend your time watching Thurgle at peace for probably one of the first times ever. Like, truly just comfortable, quiet, peaceful. Nice to see. All right. So, time passes and you all move further and further into your voyage. Circle, you feel that connection you have to your familiar shift slightly as Valerica finishes her spell and is free to move about as she so chooses.
Think like 30 seconds after you feel that, I'm just gonna be carrying an octopus like up on the deck and then just kind of like look around and throw it in the water.
Do I see her do this?
Yeah, you watch Valerica kind of open the trapdoor that leads from the lower decks. She's kind of carrying in one arm this octopus. It's just kind of like one of the tentacles just kind of like smacks and then starts reaching up her face a little bit. And she's like, and then she just kind of tosses it. And as you look over the edge, Valerica, you see it sticks to the side of the ship,
Cutie.
just below the surface of the water, still holding on,
Okay, so
but in a more comfortable kind of position as it kind of just like nestles in a little.
Cutie.
Come here. I'm
I'm
gonna
going to-
show him.
You see Thurgold, zen moment. Takes him a second to respond.
I'm gonna slap him to get his attention if it takes too long.
Okay. You slap him.
Yeah. Yes.
Valerica's calling you.
Oh, right. Sorry. Yes, Lady Valerica.
Your little one is in the water. I point down.
Because he's short.
You
I
do
cannot see over the
you
edge.
do know not incredibly high railings, admittedly. Like the edge is not as high as the ships that you would find in, say, Albinor. Which is a little concerning for some of you, but for Thurgold it's pretty part and parcel. But yeah, you kind of hoist yourself up a little bit and you look over the edge, you just see this little octopus just kind of stuck to the side, like kind of holding on really tightly as the current is slowly like pushing against it.
Ain't magic a thing?
Yes, it is. I hope they can keep up.
Well, it seems like he's stuck on pretty well.
Let us hope there's some barnacles to hang on to as well.
You can always resummon him, or I can. Whatever.
Exactly. Either way.
Fine. Okay.
Breeze is nice.
Isn't it though?
It's a bit.
Very cold.
You know, it's not as fishy as I was expecting.
No, that is mainly from ports because of the fish that die wash up and also from bad fish keeping. So it gives you a false sense of what the ocean actually is.
Nice.
Generally, you get beautiful sprays of salt, you get these wonderful clean aromas, and you don't get that busy smell of everything on land. It is freeing of the senses and allows you to almost detect more if you're paying attention to it.
Have you ever come across a sea siren?
A sea what?
Siren.
I don't know. Have I?
A siren?
Yes.
Roll a history check.
Ironically, for as old as I am, my history is shit.
That's not what you're paying attention
There,
to.
but you didn't remember any of it.
No, he really didn't. He just rolled a
8.
yeah. So yeah.
8 GM.
You have.
Oh, well, okay then.
Only once or twice. They are pleasant enough to listen to. Terrifying to deal with when your crew is not disciplined. But yeah, I mean, thankfully they're not incredibly common, especially in the more traveled waters. But once you get out more remote, you do recall a time in your past where your ship had set sail to a set of islands, had run afoul of a nest of sirens.
And I will explain this to Valerica.
Interesting. you think we'll see any here?
I would like to say it is not likely, but I wouldn't put money on it not being a possibility.
Good to know.
But just remember, you're not steering the ship, so I'll make sure you stay on board.
Shouldn't the one that's steering the ship also stay on board?
Yeah, technically, but they'll be the ones that'll be trying to steer us towards it, so it'll be the most disciplined at the helm.
I see. Okay. Good to know.
If you're steering, feel free to leave.
Exactly.
Okay. So,
True,
are
the
there?
stories I've heard about people having to literally tie themselves to the ship.
we did have one ensign that was very eager to get overboard. So a few of our other shipmates decided to hang him up by his feet from one of the sails. So yes, it is a common thing.
Interesting. I don't suppose it'll be that interesting on our trip, though. It seems like a lot of this is run of the mill for these people.
For the most part, we shall see.
It's not like we're diving into another ruin.
Not that we know of.
That's true.
At least we know there will be nothing on the ceiling.
That is also
As long
true.
as the ship doesn't turn into meat, we're good.
Exactly.
The ceiling did get us last time. One of us must always be sure to look up.
You all look up. Clear sky. Completely empty.
Not even a
Probably a
cloud
bear.
or a bird. Nothing.
A dare should be up there somewhere.
Yeah, you got a dare, but that's about it.
Now that we're out at sea and away from the fucking volcano of heat death, how warm is it just the sun on us right now? Because obviously there's the wind and the sea spray that's
Sure.
cooling things down. But how hot is the sun?
The sun is it's fairly warm. It is fairly warm. It's still winter, so it's we're getting to be winter. Getting to be winter, not quite winter. So it's perhaps cooler than it certainly could be during, high summer. But it's still warm. There's no like direct shade or anything, and the sun is just beating down on you. You'd probably expect to get burned and need to hydrate.
Pretty much why I was asking, because of how fucking pale I am. I'm probably going to spend more of my time below deck and then just 10 minutes here and there throughout the day up in the fresh air and whatnot.
Okay.
Because this is before the invention of sunscreen, so I'm not going to take any chances.
True. It is after the invention of, lesser restoration and healing magic.
True. Actually, you know what? If someone can conjure me up a really big hat right now, I'd be very, very happy. Like one of those big floppy things.
And Valerica just smiles and nods. Yeah.
Yeah, you guys
Not
look
very
around.
good at
You guys look around. The crew is not wearing hats at all. They're all.
Well, I'm gonna head to low deck because this is a long time outside. I'm just gonna unceremoniously leave.
Just gonna leave. Okay.
Go back to our quarters.
Is there anything that you guys would like to accomplish immediately, or shall we roll for our first day? Grapple?
I'm good to roll for the first day because it's not going to be till a while later that I'm sure that Sierra will actually be available for the one thing I do as character want to accomplish today.
Okay, sounds good. All right. So as Valerica leaves and goes downstairs, the first mate, Nome, approaches the remainder of you. Ah, friends! So, how do you feel? He kind of nudges at you, Thurgle. Good to be on the open shore, yes.
Oh, yes. I love it.
Ah,
It's like
good,
the
good.
time I've been missing.
Good, good. And for the rest of you?
So far, so good.
Good. I see hanging around with this sailor has given you sea legs.
Well, it's not my first time on a ship out to sea. Just the first time in this very, very hot place.
Well, I say you get used to the heat, but no, you don't.
Hashtag as a native Arizonan, I understand.
There is truth to that. Even spending time in the forge, you still don't get really used to the heat. You just get comfortable being hot.
Isn't that the case? So the captain wanted me to let you know what the plan is. So our first stop is one of the more recent villages to be attacked. Yes? Should arrive in the early hours of the morning.
Yeah, some of the later ones.
It is not too far from here. Less than a day of sailing. So we expect to arrive early in the morning. So we'll dock and make anchor, and we'll wait for the sunlight before we go ashore. Does that sound
Sounds
acceptable?
ideal. Completely.
Excellent. Well, feel free to settle in. Your home, our home is your home. It's not like you can go anywhere else.
You know, Nomi, I've got a question for you. I'm pretty good at knowing where I'm at all times and knowing what time of day it is, but I've never really navigated on the sea. Is there any way you could give me some pointers as to how you tell what direction you're going and what time it is based on what's around you?
Kind of looks at you
to
for a
add
second.
skills to my keen mind.
Okay. Kind of looks at you for a second.
Thurgo's gonna jump in for a second. When the sun is up, it is daytime. When it is down, it is night.
Ah!
This is why I didn't ask you. Thank you.
You see Nome puts out this big kind of laugh and claps Thurgle you on the shoulder. Just really hard. This old dude hits really hard. Very boisterous. But then he looks at you, Liv. Ah, well, I think we can carve out some time, yes. Yeah. Send it to me on the deck and I'll show you some things.
What he said?
Alright, I'll come with you.
Alright. He kind of inclines his head to the rest of you and leads you kind of back to the helm area. You can see the one of the crew members is kind of taking over steering for a brief time. The captain is kind of looking out over the back edge of the ship. Okay, so you just...
At the point that I start feeling like I'm overly heated, I'm going to awkwardly pull up one layer of my dress to be like a babushka to cover up my bare skin and keep me from getting sunburned. You know, petticoats still down and stuff. But...
How many layers of this dress do you have?
So technically, it's like a tartanish layer of fabric, but I have pants on.
Okay. You're pulling essentially a skirt over your head, just to be clear.
Yep.
Cool, got it.
Yep.
All right.
Until someone creates a hat for me, that's what's happening, because I have no domestic skills such as sewing.
Okay. You get a couple of odd looks as you do this, as people kind of like, what is happening? You get just this smile from Nome as he spends a little bit of time kind of introducing you to the various instruments and tools that they use to navigate, track time. A lot of them not too dissimilar from what you've seen in other parts of the world. Some very different because you're constantly moving, so you gotta account for it. He goes over some of the basics. Go ahead and make an intelligence check to see how you do.
Hopefully not terrible. I said just a base intelligence check.
Yeah.
That's going to be a 19.
19. Okay. It's not hard to grasp, but it's not simple. There's a lot of nuance that experience will bring, but you walk away from the situation feeling fairly confident that you could, some degree of navigation to some accuracy, especially with your keen mind. I think you could probably get it. If in a pinch you needed to be the navigator, you'd probably swing that.
Perfect.
Yeah. You know that you're no like master of the seas, but you walk away with a lot more knowledge than you had before. Sure. Yeah. Okay. Cool. All right. Well, if there's nothing else that you guys want to do, I'm going to let.
I'm
Yeah.
going to spend my kind of private time
Yeah.
below deck reading up on the Ingvar dynasty.
Okay. With some of those books.
Mhm.
Are you looking for anything in particular, or just kind of reading a general history of?
I want to look for any kind of tidbits of arcane knowledge or kind of hints or clues as to where more artifacts, like powerful artifacts, are hidden or how they were powering their powerful artifacts.
Okay. Okay. Sounds good. How long do you want to spend doing this? Ish.
I mean, until there's something else to do.
Okay. Fair enough. Fair enough. All right. Go ahead and make an investigation check. Yeah, investigation.
Okay. 24.
24. Okay. As you read through the book, some of the insights that you kind of read through are very similar to what you've seen in your studies of the dynasty in the past. A lot of kind of the intro of it was a high magic society ruled by those who could cast spells. Bit of an arms race throughout its history, to develop spells and magic items. You reading through, there's nothing explicit or clear. The author seems to focus a lot on how little remains, despite it being so expansive and having such a significant impact on the world and history. Surprisingly little intact remains. But you do make a couple of differences as some of the sections move away from the dynasty and towards the period of the collapse, where many of the old, and through sparse kind of records and gathering information, many of the old major cities and institutions of learning and studying and development of magic were either captured or raided by the various warlords and people going for for a power grab in the power vacuum after Ingvar disappeared. Many of which were destroyed during the collapse, many of which were presumed completely and irrevocably lost. You can infer as well, just from your own study of your own nation, Elbanor, that significant leadership, monarchs, councils, pretty much anyone who's held any kind of hereditary or dynastic rule since, likely is in possession of a not insubstantial number of the remaining artifacts and items. Kind of thinking about it, you're pretty sure you've seen something that could, at least a handful of things that could be dated back to the dynasty on King of El in the 1 or 2 times that you've been close enough to him to get a really good look. Kind of looking back, looking at some of the descriptions of some, items or artifacts that were developed at the time, you definitely infer that he's probably in possession of a few, and it's likely that otherworldly. Otherwise, any other kinds of leads would be essentially doing what your old patron Amator did, which was going and finding buried ruins that were too dangerous for most people to go to, or simply too risky or costly for kingdoms or nations to go and kind of explore. But you can also kind of infer that a surprising number of ruins are within mountains. The more kind of flat lands tend to be kind of more pink, but a lot of the biggest find of any kind of magical items been within the mountain. Tends to be this trend that you kind of pick up on. Most of the most significant ruins and kind of excavations have been inside mountain, much like Ancora.
Okay.
Yeah.
About how much time has passed?
I would say that with that, you spend at least 2 or 3 hours reading through this.
I'm just gonna meet up with everybody else afterwards and talk about some of my findings. I don't know if we want to roleplay anything between now and then, though.
Okay. No. If not, let's actually go and roll for the day's travel, if you don't mind. You're good with that?
Ready for it. Let's go.
Essentially, Thurgle will be stationing where he was, just going right back to it, enjoying the
All right.
fact that he is not obliged to be part of the crew.
Yeah, you don't have to do anything now. You're not doing any major things. It's kind of nice. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to have you roll. We're going to have you, Eric, roll, since this is Thurgle's thing. Let's have you roll. Go ahead and roll a d20 for me, please.
He was so ready. He already had it in his hands.
Oh, I'm sure.
18.
18. Okay. Da-da-da-dum. Okay. And please go ahead and roll a d6.
1.
1. Okay. Valerica, as you kind of finish up your book, kind of stretch out, your eyes getting a little tired. The ballast artifact that sits in this area of the ship that kind of helps give this sense of stability only really does so much, as you realize that as you become accustomed, you can still feel the heave of the ship a little bit. It's not nearly as bad as it could be, but you still kind of get it. So kind of standing up, a little bit, of fatigue setting in, just a lot of heavy reading. It's dense academic writing. It's not fun, no like cool narrative, no weird twists or turns. It's boring. You kind of step up to the deck to go share your findings. The rest of you kind of keep an eye on the horizon a little bit. You hear, as Valerica, you are kind of climbing up the kind of ladder-like stairway and coming out of the trapdoor to the deck, you hear this kind of piercing screech in the air. You recognize it as an owl's call.
Oh, thank God.
And you see the owl Matisse fly down, land on Nome's shoulder. As you kind of follow the situation, you see him look over at the captain, who dismisses the helmsman, takes over himself. Crew, pirates ahead.
Oh man.
Hey,
Way to
this
go,
is
Thurgle.
You guys look ahead, and you can see small little silhouette of what looks like a ship. How from this distance he can know that, it is? Gotta love, birds with fantastic vision. But you see immediately the crew begins kind of hustling. They start packing things, they start tying things down. A couple of people jump on the ballast in the different corners of the front and back of the ship. Everyone kind of just goes into business mode as you get into that kind of that pause as you approach the form of the ship becoming clearer and clearer. And you, if you'd like to make a perception check to try and see it, you can feel free to do so. Anyone who is looking.
Like 2.
If you're not looking, then
23.
23. Okay, Salima. What do your elf eyes see?
A red sun rises.
A solid 9.
9. Okay.
18 for Thurgle.
18 for Thurgle. Okay, so Thurgle and Salima, you both see kind of Valerica popping out, and Valerica, you just walk into this bustle of people as you hear pirates.
Oh.
You guys look out, and you kind of focus in on this ship, and you can see a black flag emblazoned with with what looks to be 3 kind of column. One kind of like broken off to the side. But we are going transition to a new map. As we are going to enter.
So rightfully, Thurgle would know this this flag straight up.
Yeah.
And I believe that Liv spent some time memorizing.
Perfect.
Correct.
So
We just referenced the photo that you sent us last week or earlier today.
did her perception see that? The
No.
flag itself?
I rolled a 9. I didn't see shit.
So I studied the information too, as far as what I gotten from the mayor from the last location. So I have an idea, at least, of it. I might
So
not know
as I'm
exactly.
hanging, I'm gonna draw my trident and go, Liv, pop quiz. 3 columns and a broken one.
It's... Hold up. I got
You
this.
have keen mind, so you would know.
Más menos.
Did you hear that, Captain?
I heard it. Ready the ballast day.
I'm gonna, Captain, do you want us to stay and fight, or are you guys well equipped to handle this?
I'd like to see what you're made of.
Then you shall.
All right. Perfect. Okay, cool. So, with that,
I am going to gather the group as we're like getting closer.
okay.
So, I can fly over. Who else wants to be on that side?
I think I'd rather stay over here, but personally, I'd be interested to see if we could talk our way out of this one. Save our strength for another day.
Valerica gives you a really
Well, what do you know about this
weird
group?
kind of like once over. Really?
Hey, I've not dealt with pirates all that much. I don't want to die today and fail on our mission tomorrow.
You really
You're
think
not
they can kill
talking
us?
time.
We don't know what's on that ship, do you?
Yeah, I'm not. So I don't have a problem with it.
As you guys are talking, you notice the ship is getting closer and closer. It seems to have acknowledged your presence and is engaging.
I'm gonna prep a fireball.
It is still, by this point, 1,000 feet away. So you're still quite a distance. Okay, so
Other than moving towards us, is it making any aggressive signs? Do we see any cannons loading? Do we see any flags changing? Do we see what their crew is doing above deck at all?
make a
Like, what
perception
can we
check
see?
to see.
Roll that too, because I've been watching them as well.
Yeah, go for it. Yeah, you can roll it
I
too.
got a 15. Got a 15 that time.
Okay, perfect.
17.
All right. Looking, it does not seem to be that there are any cannons. Thank goodness. They seem to be they seem to possess a couple of ballistae, much like you do. Which is a little more encouraging. Thankfully, there's no major outgunning that you can see from this point. You can see no crew of note from here. You don't see like forms kind of moving around too much. You do, however, see oars coming out the sides and rowing pretty quickly, as well as the actual sails of the ship. Thurgle, you recognize this as a galley.
How many ships are there?
Just the one that you can see.
Just one?
Yeah.
Valerica, I have
Aye.
an idea to make this fun.
Tell me.
I'm going to pop my hood on and say, when you fly us over, drop me in the water.
I like this.
All right,
Do
so
you want to start, or should we wait for them to come to us?
Let's let them breach half the distance and then we'll take it on.
all right, so you guys gonna wait? You gonna yell this at the captain?
I will approach
Did we
the
give
captain.
orders
I
to
won't...
the captain?
No orders yet.
No, I said I was asking Circle. Do we give orders to the captain?
We are technically passengers, so essentially he can suggest us not to do things, but we
Hey,
will
you
do
go
something.
handle it. Whatever. Just let me know when we're going over.
So I'm going to approach the captain and ask him, so what is your plan? If it is okay for me to ask.
No, by all means. He kind of looks over. It seems like they've spotted and want an engagement. I say we give it to them. Can't tell if
Would
they
I
have.
remember...
Can't tell
Sorry,
if they
go
have
ahead.
any mangonels yet, so we'll have to evade. And he shouts out an order, and you see a couple of crew members go down, and you hear the and the splash as your own oars come out. Thurgle, you would know this would make you a little bit more maneuver.
Do you know any of the tactics of these pirates themselves?
He kind of looks out. These ones destroy and nothing else. They don't take prisoners and they don't seem to raid.
Okay, that is what I thought I remembered. So my proposal is this. My associate, Valerica, has a very keen ability to fly.
Oh, indeed.
So essentially, I was proposing that she fly us over, she deals some damage, and while they were getting into range, I possibly put a hole underneath their deck, and you can watch them sink from a distance.
Well, you want to risk your life doing so, by all means. We are going to engage from up here.
That is fine. I'm gonna place up my hood. It is a minimal risk for me.
Kind of, you look at him, kind of see his eyes kind of squint a little bit, and he lets out this like kind of huff from his long snout. Kind of gives a nod. You hear him look over to Nome. You hear him say, "Let them run." And just,
Thank you.
"Aye, Captain." And he starts shouting his own orders.
So during this time, do we have any sort of like netting on our ship, like that they would be using for climbing and such?
Oh sure, like there's the kind of the ropes and the shrouds that are
Perfect. I'm going to work my way up and kind of like hold on with one arm and lean out to the side and be ready for combat from like a higher position in the event that they fail at whatever their plan is.
Okay, sounds
As
good.
she was doing that, I'm just gonna call up to her. I thought you wanted to talk.
I'm going to shout down, well, you guys have made it abundantly clear that's not going to happen.
Well, you can talk as much as you want.
All right, I need the
I'm
group
doing
to
that right now.
I need the group to roll for initiative.
There were some things that I wanted to do before we actually got into initiative, like full combat
Okay.
initiative.
So, what's up?
Sparks is going downstairs.
Okay.
I'm casting Expeditious Retreat on myself.
Okay. Just all right. So Sparks is downstairs, just downstairs.
And he's gonna hang out in my quarters. I don't want him to get injured.
Okay, fair enough. Sounds good. All right. So you cast Expeditious Retreat as you
I'm
are
gonna have him
preparing.
walk my stuff.
Okay.
And Expeditious Retreat
Alright, so-
on myself.
All right. So you feel that energy surge through you. Okay. Rest of you guys, initiative. 25 to 30, because that's a thing.
I don't think anybody's in that bracket, GM.
Nope. I'm just waiting because I see people still going. 20 to 25.
I am 22.
22 for Valerica. Anyone else in that
Sorry,
range?
21.
21. Anyone else in that bracket?
23.
23 for Selima.
I got a 19. So
So did I.
Nice. All right. 15 to 20.
17 for Liv.
17 for Liv. And Thurgle, what'd you get?
6.
6. Okay. Sounds good. Sounds good. Okay. Believe it or not, that might actually be beneficial in this case. Okay. So I am going to give you Thurgle. I'm gonna give you the stats for your ship.
Yes, I have them.
You have them? Perfect. The
Yes.
only thing that this ship does not have is mangonels. They've only got their ballista.
Ballistas?
Yeah.
All right.
4 of them.
4. Perfect.
4 of them. Yeah.
And each one takes its own turn, or do they all shoot as one?
So your galley is fully equipped, or your warship is fully crewed. So it gets 3 actions on its turn. And one of those actions could be fire its ballistas, so it could theoretically fire its 4 ballistas 3 times.
That is what I was asking.
Or it can move, essentially. So your options are either shoot or move kind of thing with your actions. Sound good?
Sounds good.
Awesome possum. All right. So I'm going to switch you guys over to the map. You guys all should be able to see. You guys all see the Tachis?
No, it says that we don't have tokens that have vision on this scene.
All
Yep,
right.
Same.
Perfect.
So while we were
Same
all
here.
sitting there on the ship, rolling for what sort of order we were going in, I went over to Valerica and told her, the captain has no objections to our plan.
Great. I'm thrilled that a man has given me permission to do exactly what I intend to do. That way he can take all the credit.
Don't think of it as giving you permission. Just think of it as he wants to see what happens.
Speaking of, I have two ideas.
Mm.
One, for the next 10 minutes, I can move incredibly quickly at double my usual pace, and I can maintain that, or I can go do everything invisible.
Would I be invisible as well if you're carrying me? That would look funny as fuck, though.
It would be really funny.
All right, can you guys see now?
Yes.
Perfect.
I see a big circle.
Just a circle, nothing else.
We're both Tachis. Now the
Yeah.
I see water.
and the
One
lucky
big
pirate
red
ship.
Where is the pirate ship? There's the
All the way
pirate
on the
ship.
other
All right, so it's about 960 feet
Are
away
we all
from you
traveling?
guys. What was your question, Slima?
Oh no. I saw all of our icons moving over trying to find the
Oh.
other ship.
That's funny. All right, let's switch over to our combat screen. Bam, look at that. All right. So, up first, at about 900 feet away, the first person to go is Slima. What are you doing?
Fantastic. Oh,
Saying hi from Liv's homeland.
I haven't learned her language yet. I can't do it quite yet. I don't appropriate.
Funny.
There's not too much I can really do because I don't even have a target to throw Hunter's Mark at either. You said we're about what 900?
900 or so
right now?
feet away, yeah.
I can't do much until we get about 3.
3 feet?
I'm just basically 300. Jeez,
Okay.
3 feet. God, that'd be awful. So I'm just gonna tell Adair to go high, stay dry, and see if he spots anything unusual, like maybe unusual currents in the water, seeing if there's additional ships, but they're invisible at this particular moment.
Okay, so you'd like to...
Um,
okay, all right, great. So let's spend your action doing a full, like, survey as you
Yeah.
vision. Are you spotting with your own vision, or are you looking through a dare?
Go into him.
Okay,
see-
perfect. Yeah,
see-
so let's spend your action doing that. Let's see what you find.
Okay. Roll perception.
Yeah, go ahead.
That is 13 plus 7. That's 20.
20. Okay. Looking out, you see the ship kind of far off in the distance. You do see 2 catapult-like structures all the way in the back, which you would recognize as mangonels, so long-ranged weapons. How far? You're not 100% sure. As
Do I
far
see
as
that they're already loaded?
they do appear to be in the process of loading. Yes.
Okay.
They are not already loaded, but they seem to be in the process of doing so. Okay. As far as looking around to see if there's any unusual currents, doesn't seem like there's anything in particular that's kind of standing out as far as like strange, like nothing that looks like another vessel is kind of cutting through.
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna relay that. So I use that action. I'm gonna use my next action to relay that to everybody, including the captain, saying that they have obviously some sort of catapults that they're loading already at the far end of the other side of the ship.
Okay, you get a firm acknowledgement. You guys all hear this as well. Cool. All right, let's get to the next. And unless you got any special like bonus actiony things you'd like to do.
I can't ready Hunter's Mark because I don't actually see anybody at this particular moment. So
fair enough. Okay, so
there's nothing I can do.
Holding tight, being the scout.
Yep.
I like it. All right, Valerica, what are you doing? You got expeditious retreat. You're 900 odd feet away. You're muted.
Thurgle, how close do you want to wait until we get there?
I know our ballistas have range of about 480 feet, so essentially, if they have mangonels, they might outreach us. So it's a hard call to make. But I would hate for us to essentially travel so far to abandon this ship. But then also, we do need this upper hand to be able to get this accomplished. So I would say at least wait until they are in at least firing range. So if they have the mangonels, it might be probably within 800 feet, so fairly shortly.
Doing some math,
Yeah.
we can do 360 feet in a minute.
Okay.
I'm not talking to you, GM. I'm talking to Thurgle.
Oh, sorry.
Actually, how fast is our ship moving?
You guys are moving 4
Or
miles
do we
an hour.
have to wait until it's on the ship's turn for it to move?
It will move on its turn. Yeah, it will move on its turn.
Okay.
360 feet a minute. That is not bad, but a lot can happen in a minute.
We only have a minute of fly time.
So in that case, we would have to wait until we're at least within our shooting range.
Yeah. Which is approximately how long?
If we are going full speed towards the other ship, I would say sooner than we would think, but probably still not soon enough.
Longer than a minute?
It's hard to say. GM for clarification, it does
Nah.
say the travel pace.
You guys are gonna get there well before a minute. You're both moving at full speed towards each other.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right,
So
then.
if we're moving at full speed and they are as well, then it's a good chance it may be sooner than a minute at least.
All right, so we'll wait until we get into closer proximity. Unless you want to fight from here. I can throw up the globe of invulnerability and it'll be a lot safer for us.
That is very true. And if anything, we might want to keep the helmsman safe. So if you'd want to center it around him, that would be a good safe point to have.
It'll only block spells, not debris.
Yeah, exactly. And I don't know if these assholes have spells, so anything we can protect him against would be actually a good thing.
All right, I'm gonna go make my way over to the helmsman.
Okay. Longest conversation for a turn ever. I love it. All right.
Well, we're nowhere near combat, so
Yep.
bite me.
Later.
All right, so I go over and say, "This is gonna protect you, all right?" And cast Globe of Invulnerability out of the Staff of Power.
All right. Fantastic. Yeah. This globe of swirling energy is now wrapped around the helm, so it will be protected from any magical effects that come through.
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay. It is now the pirates' go.
And to, because I know this is gonna come up, Globe of Invulnerability. It's concentration. So my expeditious retreat drops.
Okay.
And I believe it has to stay in place. And I need to stay with it.
Okay. It will mount to the ship. We'll call it that. Anchored to the ship. Perfect. All right. It is the pirates' go. They move. You see them pick
Actually,
up.
no, it's centered around me, so I have to stay
Oh, so you
there.
have to stay in it. Cool. Yeah. So you're
it's
now
not
at the
a
helm.
noble. It moves with me.
Okay. You're now at the helm. Got this kind of swirl around you. Captain's still kind of looks over at you and gives you a nod. Alrighty. Okay. Pirates have now moved a lot closer to you. Still about 8 feet out. As they just, you see them now on rapid approach. Still a little too far for their mangonels, thankfully. Liv, what you doing?
All right. So, since I saw Valerica cast a spell that I know is now routing her to the ship, which throws off the entire plan that I know that she just created for herself, I'm going to do exactly 2 things. Number 1, I am going to cast, for my bonus action, I'm going to cast Bardic Inspiration onto Thurgle, and I'm going to just give a nice rendition of I'm sailing away, and just like go into it.
Okay.
And then I'm going to take my action to cast water breathing on myself to take Valerica's place in going over to the other ship with Thurgle to help protect him underneath and do whatever needs to be done. And I'm going to look at him, I'm going to say, are you ready? And then I'm just going to dive into the water and use my movement to like hold on to the side of the ship. So as we get closer, then I'm just going to like push off.
Okay.
That
All
way
right.
I'm not above deck as it approaches. I'm going to be underwater as we go.
Okay. Sounds good. So as you kind of dive and grab on, go ahead and make a strength check for me.
As Liv does this, I'm going to go, you should have waited a few more moments.
Oh, fuck me. I rolled an 8.
8? Okay. You struggle to get a grip onto the smooth outer surface, and the ship, what is your movement speed?
35.
It begins to move a little bit away from you. You can probably keep pace with it.
Can Ares reach out and grab her?
He's a bird. It's like a crow.
No, he's an octopus.
Oh, he's an octopus. You're absolutely right. He's an octopus. You know what?
And he's right there.
You know what? We'll call it a help action. So you can roll your strength check with advantage. As Ares like...
Well, you know what? I will take his help because now it's a 21.
Okay, fantastic. You hold on to Ares, and Ares stretches out a little bit uncomfortably. As, I mean, he's not an incredibly strong creature, but he's trying. And you do manage to grab onto a couple of kind of like barnacles that have grown onto the side, and you're just kind of holding on. The water's just kind of rushing against you. But you got a pretty firm kind of lock as you see a couple of crew members kind of look over the side and see you, and they're like, what is happening?
Perfect.
She's new to ship combat.
And just for reference, the spell does last for 24 hours.
Sweet. All right. Sounds good. Okay, the ship's turn. It is going to zip ahead. Let's see. 60.
I'm over here trying to figure out how to add fucking inspiration.
Boom. It's now, so it moves forward. Its full movement uses all its actions. You are now 780 feet away. You're within Mangonel. Thurgle, what you doing?
At this point, I'm actually probably going to, shit. See if I can find the rope, make sure it's secured to the side of the ship, and throw it over for Liv just in case she needs an extra hand.
Okay, sounds good. All right. You know what? Are you just tossing a rope, or are you trying to like a lasso?
I'm primarily just tossing it so that it'll hit the way or the ocean and sort of glide towards her.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
All right. Liv, as you're kind of holding on, the water just like all up in your face. You do see a rope kind of like as it kind of drifts towards you. You can feel free to grab it if you'd like.
Sure, because I feel bad that Ares is being stretched out.
He's better now that you got a handhold. Still kind of stuck onto you. Little slimy little suckers. Okay, so with that, Thurgle, do you have anything else you're doing? Use your action to throw a rope. Any bonus actions?
Not at this time.
Okay, sounds good. Sounds good. Let's check our. Selima and Thurgle. You both, as you're kind of tossed out and you look over, you see this little, like, glowing kind of pulse coming from the other ship. Not entirely sure what it is, but you do see this like little like thing of light that kind of catches. Unusual in that it's broad daylight and you can see it. But it is back to Selima's turn. What are you doing?
Colored?
No, it's just kind of like a whitish kind of light from what you can see from here.
Whitish light.
Yep.
And we're still 700 feet?
About. Go ahead and make a perception check real quick.
Not gonna lie, when you said color just now, my brain went, yeah, if she can't reach anything, she might as well sit down in color right now. Why not?
I mean, 18.
18. You kind of watch and
11.
you see the kind of the light kind of shimmers a little bit as the ship suddenly seems a lot closer than it was before.
Here. So, I'm gonna call that out to the rest of the group. The ship has just moved a ridiculous speed with the amount of that kind
You're
of,
not
or whatever
entirely.
light it has flashing on its deck.
You also notice.
It's not causation, but it's close enough.
You also, yeah, I'd say you'd see your passive perception. You also notice that the flag's icon seems to have changed from the 3 columns to a
Shout that out to Thurgle, and I recognize that the flag is different. It's a swirl. I don't know what they do, but I know it's something different.
All right.
It's a swirl.
You guys hear Selima shout this out. What are you doing with your action and bonus action?
So we are now officially 390 feet. Nothing I have will actually. Nothing I have. Nothing I have is actually going to reach that, unfortunately. So I'm just able to scout still at this distance.
Okay,
and
so you're just gonna
shout
keep
out
an eye out?
anything I see or
Okay.
what's going on.
Then go ahead and make another
That's all I can
perception
do
check
just
if
right
you're going to
now.
be scouting.
Yep.
Cool.
So another 11, so that's 18.
18? Okay. Are you looking with your own eyes through a dare? What are you doing?
I have Adair out, but I hadn't looked through his eyes yet. I'll jump into Adair at this point as
Okay.
my next action for this.
Fantastic. All right, so as you kind of look, you see kind of off the starboard side of your ship a darker patch in the water growing closer.
Ah, fuck.
All right. I'm gonna shout that. That's the same side Liv's on, right?
Yes. Yes, it is.
Okay. I'm gonna shout that out because I know Thurgle's closer because she jumped.
Okay.
Pull out of Adair. I'm gonna shout that out to him. There's something big black showing up on the side where Liv is. It's coming right for it. Coming right for her. That's
Okay.
really all I can do.
Sounds good. Sounds good.
I guess. Am I able, despite not knowing what this creature is, am I able to ready a hunter's mark on it or no?
I'd say from here it
no.
is. Let's see. About 300 feet away from you.
GM, will you allow me to inform or remind Selima of a gameplay mechanic?
Yeah. What's up?
Selima, if you don't have an action that you can take at this time, one of the actions you can take is the dodge action, which will impose disadvantage if anything tries to hit you. it's a little bit more valuable than completely wasting your action.
Okay.
She has been spending her. Yeah,
At
that's
this
a really good point.
I've,
Thank you.
I've just scouted twice, so all I have left is.
Okay.
So,
So
I
how?
used 2 actions to scout to find that, and the other.
Yeah.
So then all I have left is bonus action. So if I can apply dodge to the bonus action, I can try to do
No,
that.
it would be
Otherwise...
anything that has a bonus action component. So you would just kind of just ready yourself at this point.
Okay, yeah, that's all I can really do.
Okay.
And Hunter's Mark doesn't reach that far that you've shown me, so.
Okay, sounds good. Valerica, you hear Selima, and now you see the ship has suddenly just like it's kind of like a blink and it's there. Like it didn't look like it teleported or so. It just suddenly appeared closer. Like,
Have I seen magic like that before?
roll an Arcana check. You're kind of quickly processing the battlefield.
20.
Dirty 20 or natural 20?
30.
Dirty 20. Yeah, it looks like there was some kind of an illusion where it made it look like it was a lot further away. And the illusion kind of dropped, and it revealed itself to be a lot closer.
I'll call out and let everyone know they're playing with illusion magic.
All right, Captain kind of looks at you. Good day. You.
And I am going. I can't do that. It's a concentration spell. Never mind.
Okay. You want to ready an action? You want to do anything in particular? That.
I'm going to ready a. I'm gonna ready a firebolt for when they're within 240 feet, because that's my range on firebolt.
Okay, sounds good. Sounds good. 240 feet, fantastic. So when they're as soon as they're within range.
Uh-huh.
You got it. Okay, cool. So it is now the pirates' turn. They're going to take their movement, go here. They get a little closer, and you guys all see these 2 balls just flying towards your ship as they have loosed their mangonels.
Sentinel.
Those were
You guys watch them cross over each other and just go completely wide and just far, like a good 30-40 feet off on either side of the target. I rolled a 1 and a 2. So that was amazing. Oh my god. All right. Well then. Selima, you're still kind of scouting, so you do notice that the dark kind of spot moves closer very quickly.
Oh, it's moving faster than the ship itself.
The
enemy ship?
It seems like it's moving possibly a little faster, yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna shout that out. That the
Okay.
black spot is coming closer.
All right.
And it's
Valerica,
faster than the other enemy ship.
you look over and you do see a kind of a darker patch that's moving pretty quickly towards the ship.
Is it within range?
It is currently at this point about 200 feet away.
That's within range for me.
Okay, so you want to switch your focus to the other it still is kind of this dark spot in the water. Like, you can definitely give it a shot and hope that there's something close to the surface.
Do I get the impression that it would hit or not?
Let's see, you're pretty clever.
My intelligence is 17.
Yeah. Probably not.
Okay. Then I'll hold.
If and when it emerges, sure. Definitely, but you can't really judge depth from this distance. So, I mean, it could be, like, right on the surface. It could be further than your firebolt would necessarily reach. Okay, cool. Liv, you're up.
France.
All right. So I'm going to use my bonus action. I'm still right next to Ares, now an octopus, which is awkward. But I'm going to, since I can breathe underwater, I know I can talk right now. So I'm going to say to Ares, "Are you ready to come with me?" What is Ares' response?
What would Ares' response be, Thurgle?
Okay, but really.
No. Ares is probably sick of being stuck on the side of the ship, so it's like, fuck yeah.
Perfect. So I'm going to use my action then to cast. Oh my god, come back. I'm going to use my action to cast Dimension Door, which
Okay.
can cover up to 500 feet.
Okay.
And I'm going to have it open where I believe the ship to currently be, since it keeps moving in awkward pacing.
Okay.
And then I'm just gonna, and since Ares is willing, Ares is coming with me, and I'm gonna have Ares suction to the new ship and hold on to him there, so I'm now attached to the new ship.
Just right on the, okay, so on the side of the ship.
Correct.
Okay, so you, and Ares like, go ahead and make another strength check for me. With advantage. As you appear on the enemy ship, it was within that space of 500 feet.
Oh, thank God. I was just making sure it was actually there.
Yeah, it seems like it.
19.
19? Okay. You managed to grab onto a couple of the barnacles that have kind of entrenched themselves onto the ship, and you hold on tight. It takes a bit to kind of avoid the rowing oars as they kind of come closer, but you're doing all right to kind of stay kind of where you're at and out of sight. And from what you can tell, nobody seems to have noticed you. Anything else?
That will conclude my turn for now.
Perfect. All right. The Tachis is going to move forward a smidge. And then use its ballistas. Because they're within range. Sort of. They're at disadvantage to hit, but they're... Selima and Valerica, you see several of the ballistas angle towards this darker spot that's now in the water as you hear the others fire from the front. Seeming to target the other enemy ship. Okay, so that's definitely going to hit. As you see two large, massive bolts impact the hull of the enemy ship, dealing a little bit of damage. Kind of nice, sort of. Yeah, just enough. Okay, perfect. A lot of health on these ships. Gotta love it.
Yes and no.
Yes and no. Yeah, it's a lot until there isn't, right?
Exactly.
All right, perfect. That concludes the crew's turn. We're up to you, Thurgle.
Okay, so Thurgle is going to call out the spiral flag and saying, "Captain, the flag is Ilingos. Fuck these assholes."
Kind of hear him kind of grunt. Valerica, you hear him kind of this large kind of long huff. Well, pirate's a pirate.
And then I'm
Watch
going
out for
to
illusions.
run and jump off of the ship, making a dive towards the black spot.
Okay, towards the black. Okay, sounds good. Getting
So
weird.
you just see Thurgle. Tum, 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 tum.
All right, cool. So you take an absolute dive off of the boat. You're off.
Not like I haven't done that before.
Right.
I would like to expend all of my movement towards it, and how close would I be?
What is your swim speed with this?
Hold on, let me find it. My swimming speed is 60 feet.
60 feet? Okay.
Yes.
You would be about 140 odd feet away from it at this point.
140. Can I make out what it is at that point?
Make a perception check with disadvantage because you are underwater.
But I'm wearing cloak of manta.
It's super far away.
That's for breathing, not for vision.
But I am Thurgle, damn it. Perception is 14.
There's 14. Can't really make it out. You kind of barely see a darker spot up ahead as the light's kind of impacting it, but can't really make it out. Okay. Cool beans. That concludes your turn?
1 second. Just a second so I can confirm it because it is difficult navigating this app.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I haven't been able to add the inspiration that she gave me. It just won't let me fucking do it.
You might as well just use it up then.
All right. Yes, that. Hold on. So my range on my Trident of Fish command is 60 feet. Would that include the ability that it has?
Which ability?
That it's a magic weapon, has 3 charges. While you carry it, you can use an action to expend 1 charge to cast Dominate Beast.
I mean, you can certainly try, but you are not within 60 feet.
That's what I'm asking. Is it a 60-foot range for that?
Yeah, it's a 60-foot range for that. Yeah.
Okay, then yes, that does conclude my turn.
Okay, sounds good. Sounds good. All right, we're back up to Selima.
And it's looking like
What was that? I think we lost you.
She is like frozen.
Quick, get a blanket.
We'll wait.
Oh wait. What color octopus did you make Aries?
I made him into an orange and red one. Kind of like the flamey look like Helios was.
Oh, that's cool.
Beautiful.
What a lovely color. All right, we can
He's cool.
sure. Oh, she disconnected and she's coming back. I'm really curious as to what happens if I were to put a little Thurgle token. Oh, he's
I can hear and
Very
see
big.
everything you guys are saying.
We can hear and see you now too, Slima.
Yeah, you're back.
yeah, we're back.
Fantastic! I was
Awesome.
able to hear everything, and I'm sitting there going like, "Wait, hold on! I can see and hear you."
Fair enough. Fair
Okay,
enough.
fantastic. All right, so we're about 270.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd say
At
about
this point?
270 feet. Yeah, from this point.
Fantastic. Do I notice a bunch of people on deck, or is it still kind of barren, just people loading the arms?
You do see several people who are now manning the ballista at the front, couple at the back. You can see a helmsperson, but for the most part, the deck is mostly bare. Looking at it, you figure that the majority of the crew is rowing.
Rowing underneath.
Yeah, rowing below deck.
Okay. I am going to attempt to do whirlwind,
Okay. Whirlwind?
because why not?
Yeah, why not indeed?
I mean, around the front, and then hopefully if it moves, it just shifts the whirlwind just a little bit.
Oh,
and I'm
sure.
gonna concentrate as much as I can.
Hold
Okay.
tight, Liv.
Yep. I'm ready.
All right. So
That's right, because you don't know what lives over there.
I apparently I don't know what's going on. All right. So for that. So yeah. Okay. So cast at will. I'm gonna use my action, cast whirlwind centered around the individuals that are loading the ballistas and stuff.
All right, what's the range on Whirlwind, out of curiosity?
300 feet.
Of course it is. Yeah, you're gonna center it right on them. All right. Sure. Yeah. Go ahead and what do you need to roll for that, or what do I need to roll for that, if anything?
It says for the attack save is dexterity save of 15.
Yeah, the ship fails. It's got a -3 to dexterity, guys.
Holy shit.
Fantastic. Tell me that again.
Well, shit.
Says the creature
Special
takes 10d6
Yep.
of bludgeoning damage on a failed save.
Yep.
In addition, large or smaller creatures that fail the save must succeed in a strength saving throw,
Sure.
or they'll get basically restrained and sucked up.
Yep. Unbelievable. Okay.
Fantastic.
Roll damage.
I don't know how I'm gonna roll 10d6s. Here. Okay.
Electronically.
Boop.
Yeah, right.
Do it. Just do. Ooh, there's a 9 in there. 32.
32 points of damage.
Yes.
Okay, sounds good. Okay.
You can see it because I pop. It should pop up.
Oh, it did. Yeah, I've
On
got
one.
different set of stats
Okay.
up right now.
So that's 32 points of damage.
Okay, so you guys watch as Selima pulls her bow back and arrow, this magical twisting kind of arrow formed out of air, just and for a second does nothing, and then you just see this kick up of wind as water gets kind of sucked up into it. You see bits of like wood get broken off. You can see the ballista at the front kind of get knocked off. Valerica, Thurgle, and Selima, you guys definitely see 4 people just as they just get jettisoned into the air. And you watch them just kind of scatter into 4 different directions as they're thrown around.
Since I'm
Liv,
underwater, do I actually see this?
oh, you are underwater, so you don't. You're right. You are underwater, so you don't see it at all. Liv, you hear this.
I let out a huge hearty chuckle and encouraged Selima. That was amazing!
The captain and the first mate both join you heartily in that chuckle as well. And the crew goes, ah! Yeah. That's
Liv's first thought is, shite, it already started, I better get up deck.
It's amazing. Okay. Does that linger?
It says duration is concentration up to 1 minute.
Oh god. Okay.
So how long is that lasting for me? And I can move it.
Of course you can. Sure.
So I can move it.
Okay, sounds good. So yeah, it you cast it, and does it take an action to move, or a bonus action to move?
I think it's. Where did I read it? I can't remember if I saw it was an action or a bonus action to move it. The spell ends when you use your action to move. Okay. It says until whirlwind house down, blah blah blah. Until the spell ends, you can use your action to move the whirlwind up to 30 feet in any direction along the ground or whatever surface it's on.
Okay.
It sucks up any of those objects if
Sure.
they fail a save, large or small creatures as well.
Sure. Perfect. Awesome. All right.
So I'm gonna move it towards the next group of humanoids.
All right. Move it.
Yep.
There's a bonus action just moving the thing. Fantastic. Wait, can you move it outside of your range?
So I'm at 300 feet. I don't know exactly where the ballistas are.
They're like
versus
right at
where
the
I could
front of
see-
the front of the deck. So you got maybe about 30 feet of move.
Okay, so I'll try to see if I can move it towards other individuals at that point. And it's a
Okay.
dex of 15 to save.
Okay. Okay. All right. Well, the ship's
How'd
gonna
that
take
work?
a little. The ship's gonna take a little more damage. So go ahead and roll damage.
I just imagine the sound of like the vacuum cleaner when you're sucking up dog food. It's of all the people getting
Right.
flung out of
So
it.
that's 29 points of damage.
29 points of damage. Okay. As it moves, you can definitely see a lot of damage. The ballistae are gone.
Woo!
Like they're shredded, and you just see them all lift like and be like scattered around. You also do see, Liv, you hear this like big old like whoosh just overhead. And you do hear ah! And so the rest of you see 4 or 5 other figures just sucked out of the ship and cast into the ocean.
Percent 30 feet out. Plus. Fantastic!
Oh yeah, and they'll take fall damage from hitting the water
Oh,
Mhm.
Jesus.
because they're getting thrown with force. I mean, also they're sailors, so they're pretty much dead anyway on impact. Like they're not strong. Okay, so that's Selima's massacre of a turn. What are you doing, Valerica? I'd love to see how you match this.
So what is the current range?
270 feet.
Technically I was holding an action.
You were still holding an action, yeah. They did not move within range in that time, unfortunately.
Yeah, if I'm protecting the helmsman, I can't really do anything. I am ship locked.
Okay, so any kind of other protection spells or anything that you can put down or anything else? Any non-concentration spells or?
Nope. There's really nothing I can do.
All right, holding your action again then.
Yep.
You know that they're going to be on approach soon. Like,
They've been on approach soon the entire time.
fair enough.
I have every confidence that eventually something will happen.
What are you holding?
It depends on how close they get.
They're
if they get
going to
close-
move within your 240 feet on their next turn.
240 feet is the outer reaches of my limit.
They'll be within that.
I know. Are they going to be any closer than that? Or are they just going to be hitting 240 feet?
At this point, they'll probably be closer to 200 feet.
Then all I can do is hold the same fireball.
Fireball or firebolt?
Firebolt.
Firebolt?
Yeah.
Yep. Okay.
That's all I can do.
All right, so you flames ignite in your hand. It is the pirates' turn, so they're gonna move. Go ahead and roll that attack on your firebolts as they move closer.
Oh, I actually get to use it?
Yeah, you do.
Alrighty. That is going to be... 18 points of fire damage.
18 points of fire damage
Yeah.
after all your pluses and everything.
It's 3d10. Wait, I have to roll to hit, don't I?
Yeah, I said roll to hit.
Oh, I thought you said roll for damage.
No, roll to hit.
18 to hit.
Oh yeah, that'll hit.
Okay, so I can either keep the same damage roll or roll another gun.
Roll damage.
Same numbers. That is going to be 18 points of damage from that, but I'm gonna go ahead and spend a sorcery point
Okay.
to twin the spell.
Okay. Are you what else are you targeting? You gotta target a different object or
Just a
target.
different part of the ship.
Okay, cool. So actually that's a good point. What were you targeting? Sails, helm? Because you can target all, or just
Helm.
the helm. You want to take out the dude
Yeah.
in the. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
Huh. It's almost like you protecting the helm gave you an idea.
Yeah, it's
Imagine
smart.
that.
Okay. So you're attacking the helm, and what else? Because now you've got 2 targets. So
The helm and I don't know the middle part.
The
You wanna go-
mast.
go for a sail.
Sure.
Okay, cool. And you said that was how much damage?
So I don't know if I need to roll to hit again if I'm twinning a spell.
Eh,
Um.
not gonna worry about it
I
right
rolled
now.
a 24 to hit.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And the damage from that is 23 points of fire damage.
23 points of.
22.
Okay, sounds good. Okay. You hit one of the sails solidly. And it's the first of your firebolts to hit as you kind of cast it, and it shoots out in the one that you're used to and then splits and kind of twists. One veers up slightly, punches kind of this hole in the sail as it starts to kind of ignite, and you notice the ship slows slightly as one of the sails is now partially damaged.
That's why I was trying to avoid the sails. But whatever.
I mean, it's not a tremendous amount of slowing, but it's
Okay,
big damage.
that concludes my turn.
Cool. You also
Still
see
maintaining
your
concentration on the.
okay. Very cool. You also see your other firebolt course through the rest of the ship and impact the guy at the helm. Just as you see him kind of like react from this far away, like, ah!
Perfect.
Oh no. I am actually curious as to just how hurt he is right now. Yeah, you see him kind of flail and thrash around as he kind of dives off the ship on fire.
No stop, drop, and roll. Just fuck this.
Shoo! Yeah,
So there's currently no helmsman.
there's no helmsman. It's still sailing forward. It's just not being guided currently.
As that happens, I'm just gonna tell the captain, took out the helmsman.
I see that. Excellent aim.
Thanks.
Okay. And you did pretty decent damage to the helm itself. All right. Nicely done. They're going to try to attack, now that they've been with their
Oh, shit's on fire! Fucking shoot!
Right,
Can't shoot,
seriously.
they're all gone. So
They
they
d-
took them out.
They do have the mangonels in the back. Oh, and that's a natural
Abilities.
20.
Oh,
That's a natural 20. All right, so your ship, I'm going to say, let's see.
I so wish I was playing Kosh right now. She has immunity to crits.
Nice. Roll a d8 for me, Thurgle.
D8.
Yeah.
2.
2. Oh. Okay. All right. You see one of the balls misses completely. Just another one flies. Valerica, you watch as it lands right behind you, completely crushing one of the ballistae as the 2 crewmen who were kind of holding onto it are just blown back. And you feel this like shattering of wood and splinters and nails and pieces of metal as they all kind of impact you through the globe.
Oh, poor babies.
So you guys are down a ballista and 2 crew members, because that was
Okay.
54 points of damage. Yeah. Okay, but that is their turn. Thurgle, you are currently underwater.
Yes.
Wait, Thurgle's after me.
Oh, I know. It's the
Okay.
black ball's turn. The black
Ah.
spot's turn. You, as you're swimming, you're speeding through the water, trying to keep an eye. You see these tendrils coming forward as you see a massive squid-like creature zipping forward. Pretty quickly. It looks a little malformed, but it is speeding right towards you. You recognize this creature. It's diseased or deformed in some way, but it is a young kraken. It is currently about 40 feet out from you. Yeah, can't do anything, but it is coming towards you. Now you can see it. Okay, but that is its turn. Liv, what are you doing? As you've just seen this cacophony of swirling things and crew members getting thrown, kind of look up, you kind of see one of the sails is partially on fire.
So, 2 questions before I solidify my idea. From where I'm at on the side of the ship, how many feet up is the top deck from where I'm at?
10 from where you're at. Maybe 10 to get up.
Okay. And then lengthwise, am I closer to the front of the ship or the back of the ship?
I would say you're probably at this point closer to the back of the ship.
Okay. So here's my plan.
Okay. Okay.
Excited right now. I'm going to use Ares
Okay.
as a way to like climb up the side of the ship, like
Sure.
having him suction and unsuction and like holding on to him as he octopi up the side of the ship.
Okay.
I'm gonna use that as my movement.
All right.
And then when I get to the top,
Yep.
I'm going to peek just my head and a hand over. Can I see the manganelles?
The mangonels?
Mangonels.
You can,
I
and you
see-
can see the 2 crew members at each beginning to reload them.
Perfect. And how far away from the edge of the ship is it that I just peeked over?
Like how far from the edge of the ship is the mangonel?
Yes.
Like right on it.
Perfect. I'm going to reach up and touch it and cast Produce Flame.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, light it on fire.
Okay. All right. Go ahead and roll for that, right?
Yes, it's a cantrip.
Okay. Sounds good.
16.
16 will hit.
Perfect. And
Only
then
just.
I'm going to roll for damage. Hey, I will take just. Can I have an extra? All right, here we go. It's going. Oh, that's a good roll. Shit. That's going to be 18 points of fire damage.
18 points of fire damage? Okay. You see the mangonel that you touch. Takes a second, but you can start to see that some of the ropes and the coiling around and some of the wood starts to scorch as the fire starts to encompass it. They're beefy things, just so you're aware.
And then I'm going to just duck back down the side of the ship.
Okay.
Using Ares.
Okay. All right. Are you trying to avoid being spotted?
Yes.
Roll a stealth check for me.
Oh, fuck me. Oh, God.
Uh-huh.
That was a nat 1, total 6.
Okay. All right. Okay. You're not confident you are hidden at all when you hear 2 of the siege engineers who are kind of loading up. You hear them speaking in Mistrosi something to one another. Kind of yelling, and you see one kind of pop his head over the side. look dead at you. All right. The crew is gonna go. Move you guys a little closer. Boom, you guys are now within. You're now within 120 feet of the thing. And you're going to have 2 of your mangonels attack. Oh my god, I'm rolling so low tonight. It's a 5 and a 3 as the I'm sorry, not mangonels, the ballista at the front.
Our ballista or theirs?
Your ballista. The 2 at the front, you see them kind of load up at angle, and both of them just kind of fire off, and they hit, but they ping off the sides of the boat as they kind of shear slightly, doing absolutely no damage whatsoever, unfortunately. I'm rolling really low tonight. Great for you guys, sort of. Alright, that is their turn. Thurgle, what you doing 40 feet away from a young kraken?
I am going to use my trident and expend 1 charge to cast Dominate Beast.
Okay.
It has to roll a saving dice of 15.
Of what? Wisdom, Constitution, Charisma, what?
It does not specify.
Dominate Beast. Take a look.
I say it might just be the mobile app doesn't have everything because it definitely does not. So
That's fair. Wisdom save. All right,
Okay.
let's see if this works. Damn. All right. What do you want to do with your new pet kraken?
I want to ride it.
All right, so you call it over to you.
Yes.
Okay, it's still kind of speeding towards you, but you definitely feel that like kind of connection from the spell as you hold out your trident. It'll start moving towards you with the intent of now picking you up to ride it. Yeah. Cool.
So I am going to prepare to ride my new kraken.
Okay. Do you want to swim closer to it to expedite that process?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
I will move closer.
All right. So as you swim closer, you kind of meet in this halfway point. I can definitely hear like the music swell. You know, as a tentacle kind of latches onto you and it places you on its back.
oh my god!
You are now riding a malformed kraken. Fantastic.
And is this a large beast, a huge beast?
It is a huge creature. Yeah.
That
Thurgle.
spell. How long does he get to keep this pet?
It is a concentration spell up to 1 minute.
Thurgle, roll an Arcana check.
$18.
18? Okay. You're sitting there like reveling in this, like, yeah, that was great. And then you have a thought, wait, why did that work? Oh well. Who cares? Moving on. Kraken. All right.
What's wrong with this second?
Okay. So that's Thurgle's turn. That's fantastic. All right, so Kraken's now going to go on your go. Oh, no, I'll keep its initiative because it's earlier. All right, Selima, we're up to you. What you doing?
Whirlwind? How many turns is 1 minute?
10.
6
rounds. 1 minute.
and
Fantastic, because I'm going to maintain concentration on that.
Sure you
lovely
are.
thing. Have I done enough damage to bore into the ship to try to get at the oarsmen, or not yet?
It's an open deck. So it
Fantastic.
started, some of the people that got sucked out were some of the oarsmen. Between
There's no more
you,
captain.
between you pulling people out and Valerica damaging the sails, like its ability to move has been slightly hindered.
I'm gonna try to get the rest of Well, I don't know. Am I able to reach what the Mangaline, whatever they are in the back yet with my whirlwind, or is it still too far?
Along the actual ship, because it moved a little bit, you might be able to get there. Yeah, it's a longer ship. But yeah. Yeah, I'd say you can kind of push the... Because it moved closer, so kind of scraped along. So you're going for the other mangonels?
Great. So I'm gonna go
Alright.
for the other mangonels. I'm gonna push it forward as best I can.
Sure, of
And
course you
if
are.
I suck more
And
people out along the way,
yeah, well, you're gonna with, everything below a 10. My dice are cursed tonight, guys. I have a special kind of unlucky. I'm feeling the Radavast lack of luck right now. Tasha, bring Thessalia. I'm ready to make
No.
a deal.
No.
Fine. Yeah, so Liv, you you see this guy pop his head, like this kind of gnarled, like sun-scorched, angry-looking face. Kind of teeth are a little broken, yellow, blackened, some of them. As he kind of growls at you, and then gone as this air current just sucks him up and throws him out into the ocean. Just
I'm even more happy that I flipped him off because he probably was like, "That bitch!"
yeah. Roll damage, Salima.
3.
3 damage?
No, 33.
Oh, okay.
33.
I just heard 3, and I was like, how did you only roll 3 on like 6d10 or something? Okay, 33. Okay, the mangonels are still up, bolted down and really kind of beefy themselves, but there's no one at them, so they're not doing anything anymore. Okay. That's just delightful for you guys. You guys can hear the crowd just cheering and shouting like these battle cries, like, yeah, with every cool thing that you guys do. Okay. Do you have anything else that you're doing, Salima?
I try to bore a hole through the bottom.
All right.
Yep.
So you're just kind of holding it in place. Got it. Cool. 33 points of damage. Valerica, what are you doing?
So they haven't shot any real magic at us yet.
No, they haven't. Not that
Alright.
you've seen. But who knows?
I am going to say, Captain, I think you're safe. I have a 6 to attend to.
He says, actually, please hold. They may attempt to charm.
All right. Well,
Unless you have a better plan.
I can do stuff from here. I'm gonna pull down a 5th level fireball.
Oh, of course. Sure. Go ahead and roll for damage.
Alrighty.
This ship ain't dodging.
So
I don't think that it can. What is your DC to beat?
my DC save DC is 17.
Yeah, it can only save on a natural 20. And it did not get that. So, yeah. Roll for damage.
46 points of fire damage, and it's on fire. The center of the ship in a 20-foot radius is now on fire.
Whirlwind do anything to that to increase its radius? Hi.
Okay, so here's my question.
It ignites flammable objects in the area that aren't being worn or carried. The whole area.
The ship's on fire now.
Yeah, the whole ship is on fire.
Okay.
This ship is on fire.
So spell interactions aren't really a thing in the rules, but they're awesome. So, how about this? Valerica, Roll a D100 for me.
Okay. That is going to be 62.
Okay. All right. Salima, roll your whirlwind damage for me.
Oh no! It's a fire tornado! Ah!
Wait, let me get that shark. It will be so much better.
40.
40? Okay,
40.
so 40, and Valerica, yours was how much? 50 something?
Mine was 46.
46. Okay. So you shoot this beam of fire as it and then ignites. As you see the whirlwind suddenly go from the swirling kind of grayish blue, and you see the steam start to rise, and then the whole thing catches parts of the flames that you just that you just created.
Can I? Actually, no. Never mind.
What do you want? Tell me.
I changed my mind. I was gonna twin the spell and cast 2 fireballs, but I can't do it at this level.
Oh, you can't? Okay, it's twin spell limited.
It's limited based off sorcery points.
Oh,
I
so
would
it's you don't have enough
need
sorcery
10
points for it.
sorcery points to do it twice.
Got it. Okay.
And I only have 9 available at the time.
Okay, got it. Okay, so that makes all right. Cool. I was gonna say otherwise it's fine, but you're limited by sorcery. Got it. But yeah, you watch as this fireball just becomes a tornado, and the ship takes an ungodly amount of damage. As Liv, you just hear this like kind of whooshing sound as a sudden like heat. Just you feel it. And you see a couple of the oars kind of go slack. Some of them slide out. And you hear from inside screaming as dozens of people are suddenly consumed in this utter conflagration of somehow empowered flame. The ship is technically still afloat, but it no longer has sails. So it's going to continue with a little bit of its momentum, but that's it. It no longer has weapons. It barely has any oars. It's basically just a burning shell.
Beautiful.
I'm to the captain. Isn't it glorious?
He looks over at you. I think you and I need to have a talk. I'm putting you at the front of the ship next time.
Your ship is fine.
I know. I want you at the front. You can hit them sooner.
This is true.
Okay, so the what are you commanding your Kraken to do, just out of curiosity?
As of right now, I am commanding it to surface through the water like a fucking dolphin and just in and out of the water back towards the ship. And while it's happening, you'll just see Thurgle on top.
All right. So Valerica, did you have any bonus actions you were doing?
Do I see anything on the top of the ship that I can hit right now?
No, there is like nothing left. You have decimated this thing. You're basically just gonna be hitting the actual like hull.
Do you want survivors?
Not these ones. Too late for that.
Alright.
May as well sink it.
I can't do anything as long as I'm locked to the captain.
At this point, I think we'll be fine.
Okay. So I am going to. How far away is it?
The ship?
Yeah.
About 120 feet ish, I think.
I'm just gonna move up to the front of our ship.
Okay, so that's
Probably another 30 or 40 feet.
sure. Yeah, we'll call that.
Can I see Thurgle?
At this point, yeah. As you see Thurgle and this giant like squid-like creature that he's now riding.
Do we need to kill that?
Probably in a little bit.
Got it!
Do you see the crew all look at each other? Like, what? They look all over at you, Valerica.
You didn't see that?
They have no idea how to handle this. This is the weirdest thing ever. Okay, well, the ship is scuttled at this point, so Liv, what are you doing? As you're now clinging on to a burning ship.
Yeah. So
That conjure flames was really effective.
Honestly, she's gonna take that. She's gonna be like, I did a good job, and then Valerica helped out, so we're good now. So she tells Ares, all right, grab onto my shoulder, and then I'm going to cast Expeditious Retreat on myself and use that plus my movement plus the bonus action of now having the Expeditious Retreat on myself to move 105 feet through the water and end up right in front of our ship.
Okay, so you
Imagine her like the Jesus lizard.
Because
love
we're
it.
120, we're 120 feet away from the ship, so I got 105, so I'm almost there.
Okay, so I would say that you absolutely start heading over. You're still about 15 feet as you're kind of running towards you as the ship is coming to kind of meet. You see Valerica, you see Liv zip across the water from the other side, from the other ship.
I'm just gonna try to wait and see if Thurgle and Liv hit as he's like bobbing in and out of the water.
Yeah, so this thing is dashing. Let's actually take a look and see if it does. So you were about there. Yeah, it's gonna. You guys are kind of all on a three-way intersect, like collision path. But yeah, this you see this. You get it a lot closer to it. It looks a little weird, Valerica. Not gonna lie, it's this weird squid-like thing that's got like a tentacle out of place here, a little bit misshapen there. It does not look like a healthy squid.
There's something wrong with that thing, Thurgle.
I know.
He said he knows.
That he
I
knows.
say no one in particular.
It's funny.
Is he going to keep it?
Only for a minute.
Okay. You hear the captain give the hold order as the ship begins to slow, as the oars kind of push against its momentum as it slows its pace, still moving forward a little bit to get closer to the actual pirate ship.
Do I recognize what this is?
Roll an Arcana
Like the
check.
animal? The animal.
Roll a nature check.
Oh yeah, great. 14.
14. It looks like a whack squid. Like somebody took a squid and messed with it.
I'm gonna call out, Captain! Thurgle's riding some weird squid that we're probably gonna have to kill.
Understood. Ready weapons.
Question to the GM. Because there's the rope dangling off the side that Thurgle had cast down before, as the ship moves, can I use my reaction to grab onto that rope?
Sure. Yeah, I'll allow it as the ship kind of moves towards you. Sure. Yeah, you can grab onto a thing and hold on to the ship. Yeah, sure. I'll allow it. All right.
Because I wouldn't just sit there in the water and let it pass me. Like, that doesn't make sense.
Fair enough. So,
Well, there goes.
you as you grab it, the ship moves closer. Thurgle's new mount does as well, and you also see this really strange deformed squid-like creature. We're gonna be out of combat, so we're out of initiative order. I'm putting on a timer for your spell, because you have it for a minute, right?
Yeah.
Cool. So you've got a 54-second timer.
So at this point, I'm going to have it let me get onto the ship. So it's going to offer up a tentacle to allow me to climb on top. And then I'm going to have it go over to the ship and sink it.
Okay, so it's going to attempt to do so. I will
And
then...
I'm going to say to the captain, I've just told it to go sink the ship. Once it does it, it will probably turn against us, since it's probably going to take some damage and have to see if the spell takes hold still.
Okay.
Is it more helpful to sink the ship or get it far away from us right now and try to get away from it? Or do you want to kill it?
It is diseased. We should kill it.
Okay.
All right. So you
Holding
see
whirlwind.
it floats over. The world just keeps going. This conflagration of flames, just
I'm still holding
burning
it.
everything. You watch as the squid-like creature slides over, kind of in a bizarre manner, and its tentacles kind of reach out and try and grab onto the ship and try and do some damage. It doesn't seem to be particularly effective. And Thurgle, you're kind of looking at it, and you're like, that is not the same creature I saw running towards me. Like, there's something very
Does it
wrong
look
with
like
that.
it's getting worse over time?
In a little bit.
Thurgle, it's possible that it's being bound here for a certain amount of time and it's going to expire.
That is very possible. We probably should not be very close to it.
No.
It's still
All
kind of...
this time, Liv is climbing up the rope to the top with Ares.
Alright, you guys have 20 seconds left. What are you doing?
Swim
Want
away.
to throw him in my
farther.
whirlwind?
Sure, yeah. You want to move your whirlwind?
You want to throw him in there? I've still got it going. It only lasts a few more seconds.
Thurgle
5.
literally just casted go away farther.
Yes or no?
Alright, so...
I said
I'm moving
go
it.
farther.
Okay. It starts dipping out, rushing further away. Are you going to try to catch it with your thing?
Try to see if I can check it with the whirlwind. Yeah.
Okay, sounds good. It's not got a great dexterity, and its speed is significantly slower now. That's a natural 1. Go ahead and roll for damage.
Dear.
Why are all of my dice so mad at me tonight?
See, Thessalia is sounding a lot better now.
I know, right?
They are not.
31.
You're just in Thurgle's territory.
All right. 31.
Selima's considering this a mercy. 31. Selima's
Okay.
considering this, if it dies, a mercy killing if it's diseased.
Yeah. So you guys watch as this now water spout just flows over to it, and you see the creature just kind of get lifted and then just ripped apart by the sheer force of the spell as it kind of gets scattered around a little bit.
Well, that was gross. But for the most part, this has been fun.
Feel
It
calm
was a
settle
mercy.
over.
You see a sea-drenched Liv climbing up over the top, hair to her face, and just coming up and be like, Valerica, you were right. Talking is stupid. That was fun.
Did you see the fire tornado?
I did, and it was badass. And you know what? I set a little part of it on fire before that came through, and it was just beautiful.
I like it when I get to burn things without consequences.
You feel a
Thurgle's gonna pull
calm.
back his hood.
Okay.
Oh,
And the four of us standing, like, looking at our things, all turn around in unison, superhero style. Ta-da!
All right. So you guys do your superhero kind of pose as you kind of help each other back onto the boat, and you kind of shake off. You turn around. The entire crew is just staring at you. You see Aramis, you see Nome, and you see Syrah all standing at the helm, kind of arms folded, looking pretty pleased, like these like half smiles on their faces. And you see the crowd of sailors and infantrymen just look around, and as you get this cheer, and then a kind of chorus of songs starts up, one of the old kind of battle cheer songs, you know, to celebrate a well-earned victory kind of picks up, and almost immediately you see like cups of things being kind of passed around.
Hey, alcohol. I'm gonna take it.
All right, it's not great.
It's not.
No,
Yeah,
it's sea
prestidigitation
grog.
tastes all better.
Definitely tastes better with prestidigitation. It's it's sea grog. It's not fantastic. As you see the other
Turtle's
three
gonna
kind of
join
look
in
at
with
you.
the singing.
All right, awesome. A few minutes kind of pass as you watch the ship just start burning more and more, and then you hear that as it starts to sink. It can no longer hold. See a couple of like bodies float, and then eventually sink as well.
I'm gonna detect magic.
Okay.
As we get close to the wreckage.
Sure.
Any pings?
Roll a perception check.
Detect magic automatically like makes them glow.
I understand. Roll a perception check.
18.
18? Okay. You see one body in particular does light. They glow. There's seems to be something in one of its kind of coat
Hey, Thurgle.
bags.
Yes.
That guy has something in his bag. Magic. Can you go grab it for us? Google thinks their new name is Thurgle.
Yep, I definitely caught that. Definitely caught that. That's hilarious. Okay. You swim over and you see this kind of, less emaciated looking kind of pirate kind of floating. Definitely like all burned and singed. And in one section that's mostly undamaged, you do find a handful of scrolls.
I'll grab those scrolls and bring them back.
Okay. Okay. All right. You see Thurgle come back. Hand full of like soggy scrolls.
Ah, cool. I will check these out after I dry them off.
Yeah. All right. But yeah, they are definitely absolutely glowing with that. That's still kind of powerful like aura of magic. Specifically, you get the usual kind of transmutation that shows up in most spell scrolls, but they are more heavily bent towards the.
Okay. I'll ask for those later.
Okay.
We probably need to follow up with the captain. Right?
It's probably a good idea.
Right.
So the celebration continues for a moment before people kind of go back to doing their jobs. They gather the bodies of their fallen kind of comrades, and some of them start to kind of patch up some of the damage that was done to one ballista in the back. It is completely decimated. You guys are permanently down one, but they start trying to clean up a little bit, get some debris out of the way. But you see the captain at the helm. You see the other two kind of head crew members there as well as they kind of watch you approach. The captain looks at you. Exceptionally done. I'm very impressed. Usually, if we're ever told to escort, they're not as impressive.
Thank you kindly. The fire tornado was new. That was a first. I will absolutely admit to that.
Well, there is no doubting its effectiveness, yes?
Yeah, and I'm gonna kind of nudge Selima.
Holding my trident, and I want to say, I've always wanted to ride the Kraken.
I
I'm
didn't
sure.
quite ride a Kraken, but I did get to use Ares to quite some effect, and this is like a smaller version of a Kraken right now.
Basically.
So you probably want to throw him back in the water because he can't breathe air.
Oh, sorry, Ares.
Oh my god! Whee!
Wait, hold on. Believe it or not,
Perfect.
Fuck yes.
I was waiting for that.
I forgot. I had not realized. I'm just gonna accumulate stuffed animal versions of all of our familiars.
I love it. Fantastic. Oh man. Okay. The captain looks over at you. The only thing I would ask is please keep such spells off the ship, yes?
The effect radius, sure.
Thank you. Well, quite the day. Was not expecting a pirate incident quite so quickly.
So what do you know of the pirates that we just took out?
They seem to be part of the pirates that are more illusion-based. Distraction tactics for the most part, pretending to be one group and then assaulting
Are you sure?
from odd angles and disguising their attacks, though. Quite frankly, with how easily these ones went down, probably one of their smaller, more inexperienced crews.
Easily. How fast would it have gone if you didn't have us?
It would have taken quite some time, but we probably would have ended up boarding. So you absolutely expedited, but they didn't pull out many of the tricks we're used to.
That's because we didn't give them time to.
That's probably true. Though they did create that illusion of distance. Which
Yeah,
is
what the
always...
fuck was up with that?
It's something they like to do. They make you think that they're further away or closer than they actually are. And I imagine that creature you were riding, Master Thurgood, looked a lot more fearsome when you first approached, yes?
Initially, but it also looked very diseased.
Well, I suspect not even that was a true kraken, thank the gods.
It did succumb to that control very easily, so that is a very possibility. Very big possibility. Wow. Combining words here. Find me.
He kind of looks at you. What control?
This, and I flurry out my trident. This has the ability to control swimming creatures that don't have as much of the mental fortitude to protect themselves.
Very impressive object. Did not know such a thing could affect kraken.
Likewise, which is probably more the reason why it may not have been a true kraken.
Indeed. Valerica, if you'd like,
But
you
it
can
was
roll
still a
our...
hell of a lot of fun to ride.
I imagine.
Yeah.
If you'd like, you can absolutely roll a... roll an Arcana check.
24.
24? You're kind of listening to this. If it were an actual kraken, you're not super familiar with them, but you know some, magical monsters enough. There is no way it would have worked. It flat out would have failed. Whatever this
Right.
creature was, it was certainly a true kraken in any stretch of the imagination.
I'm just gonna kind of make a note to tell Thurgle that later.
Okay.
Not gonna take away this moment.
Fair enough. You can surmise, based off of what you saw, and now listening around, somebody probably messed around a little bit with transmutation, made it like a regular squid a little bigger or something, and then disguised it.
Yeah. I'm not gonna take that away from him.
Fair enough. That's totally fair. Okay. Well. You did an excellent job. Feel free to take a break, walk around, join us up here, help, sleep. Our ship is yours. You're sailing through the night.
Do you have any damages that are smaller and more difficult to repair?
Kind of looks around. I'm sure we can find things. Do you have something to help?
Mending.
Ah, well, by all means, help would be appreciated. Anything that can be done to expedite our repairs would be excellent.
Okay.
I may not be able to completely repair the ballast, but I can at least assemble certain parts for you if you have enough extra pieces lying around.
We may have something to be arranged. Is this... Are we to witness the legendary work of a cleric of Hephaestus?
In some aspect, yes.
You see... You hear the first mate, Nome, just... Aha! Well, I think we should fight more pirates and destroy more of our own things to watch that happen. You see a glare from both Syrah and Aramis is like, I jest, of course. And then he kind of looks over at you, Thurgle, and like, not subtle, like, wink.
And Thurgle, right back at him.
While all this is happening, Liv is just going to very quietly, not trying to hide, but very quietly cast Unseen Servant and tell it to go start picking up the debris and cleaning up the mess with the crew so it goes by faster.
Okay. You see a couple of the crew members who are busy like sweeping and scrubbing and trying to get things together just watch this pile of things start floating, and some of them are like, They kind of feel around. And they kind of look at each other like, what? And then they look back at you. And the captain and everyone else like, I don't know what to do with this. And then one of them, another crew member comes up, kind of whispers something. He's like, It kind of gives like a thumbs up and a quick salute, and then goes back to cleaning.
Someone
Thurgle,
knows magic.
Thurgle, if there's anything you come across while you're working that needs mending, just let me know.
Will do, thank you. Oh, go
I'm
ahead.
going to return to my quarters. Selima, care to join me? As we're, like, once we're in there,
Okay.
I want to have a sidebar.
Okay. Sounds good. All right. So up top, what are you guys doing? Then we'll go down to the lower decks.
So I'm going to take the opportunity to pick up as much wood as I can and other bits and pieces, and use a level 4 fabricate to try to reassemble some of the pieces in whole, so
Okay.
that way they can at least reassemble it.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. Sounds good. Yeah, there's enough pieces and scrap, and you can arrange a understood, Sabrina. We'll wrap up in a minute. There's enough kind of scrap and things, and a couple of empty barrels and boxes are taken up, to you to kind of supplement. Mostly get the pieces. It'll take some time to assemble, but it can be done.
And then also I would use the Blessing of the Forge to do most of the metallic pieces to really put some fine tuning to it to ensure an easier assembly.
Okay, sounds good. So, all right, Thurgle Nightbane, CEO of IKEA, delivers a do-it-yourself ballista kit. The captain looks over at you. Truly, that's a useful skill. Maybe I should look into requisitioning the services of a worshipper of Hephaestus like yourself.
There was a reason they had us on the Forge ships.
And I can see why. We could spend much longer at sea if we did not have to go in for repairs so often. Well,
Very much.
I thank you for your aid.
I thank you for letting us journey on your ship.
Hopefully we both find the answers.
Yes. And if any of your crew need any healing, please send them to me.
Thankfully we lost only 2. The others seem unharmed. So Unarmed. Ah. But thank you. And to keep this in mind.
And I say this in a very hushed tone. If worst comes to worst, I have necromancy, so we're not really down crew in a dire situation.
Kind of looks around. Closes his eyes for a second. Takes a breath. Understood.
Let that just be between us. I know some of the crew may be more superstitious.
Not be wrong to be so. But yes, just between us.
And then once I wrap up all there, I'm gonna head back down to my quarters and take a nice rest.
Okay. Liv, are you doing anything in particular? Get you in before you pass out completely.
That's what she said.
For our viewers, I got stung by a bee for the first time today, and Benadryl is fun.
Oh man.
Anyway. Yeah. Anyway, Liv is going to take a moment to, like, very slowly and somewhat essentially, like, wring the water out of her hair and, like, squeeze the water out of her clothes in front of Sierra, you know, just, like, having a moment. And then she's gonna, like, not overtly sexy walk, but extra sway to the hips, walk away from her to go downstairs and join the rest of the party.
Okay. Sounds good. Are you watching for any reactions or anything?
No, not this time, because she's fairly confident that she's watching anyway.
Okay. Sounds good. All right. You do your little song and dance. You do kind of sense eyes just kind of lingering on you for a bit.
And, you know, it may be eyes of the crew, but, you know,
Yeah.
whatever suits them, you know, they
Yeah.
gotta stare, they gotta stare.
If you're not paying attention, you don't know who. All right. So you go downstairs as well. Meanwhile, Valerica
I'm
and Selima.
assuming Liv is gonna walk into this conversation.
Liv and Thurgle probably. I mean,
If Thurgle's working on a ballista, that's gonna take a while.
that's true. It will take a while. So Liv might walk into
It's
this.
an hour,
An hour
right?
and 10 minutes.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So-
So an hour.
Liv is gonna be there in like what, 3?
Oh, no, I'm going real slow on the clothing squeeze, probably about 10 minutes.
Okay.
I'm being pretty ridiculous.
Okay.
Yeah, like softcore, yeah.
Oh
For sure.
my. Oh
Okay.
my. Like inch by inch.
Oh,
Okay. So once we kind of get into the quarters, I'm gonna pull the door closed.
Okay.
We may have a problem.
All right.
You know how your weapon is incredibly powerful?
Zephyr, yes.
Yes. And how I can cast spells out of this?
Hmm.
So these are relics from the Ingvar dynasty. Been doing some research, and it is reasonable to surmise that any sitting monarch that has had a bloodline has artifacts. Meaning, you know that country we just overthrew? There are some
Yeah.
artifacts sitting on the ground. I can almost guarantee it.
Okay.
Considering how bad the last one was, that other eye that was
True.
horrific, I'm not feeling too great about leaving those sitting on the ground.
We have no indication of what they could be, if they're even still on the ground. For all we know, the advisor or the thief assassin himself has them already.
Yeah. This is just a theory, but it's also a pretty well-informed one.
Think it's something worth sending a message to. No, that wouldn't make any.
I can send
No
a
one would
message
release
to my
that.
mom, but none of us can go over there.
True.
I don't think
Because I was
any
gonna say,
Indrics can go over there.
There's no point in a message because if anybody found anything, they're either they understand what they have, or they don't, and it's just adding to the devastation.
And on top of that, everyone's dead?
I mean, we did see the survivors running towards the wreckage to try to rescue whoever, so there's not everybody dead. A good portion of them, we don't know who did what.
I'd imagine the looting and pillaging has been active, and I'm sure that people went for whatever monarch was sitting's their stuff. But just so we're keeping track, we likely just released some very powerful artifacts into the hands of I don't know who.
Do we have any idea of what artifacts might have been in the region from the
Nope.
Dynasty era? No.
These things have been traded through black markets and very poorly documented.
I don't know enough about Gravia to know if there was any rumors about the monarchs there myself, so I tend to
So
steer
that's the
clear of the
same.
major cities.
Another fun twist.
And the only thing I can think of is maybe Hannah's heard stories that the king can do something fantastic, or the emperor did something fantastic.
That'd be worth following up on. Maybe we could get like there has to be some documentation on Garavia.
Everything is kept completely a secret. There's probably stories or legends or things like that, but it's not my expertise.
Nor mine.
And
Just
you
another
honestly
thing.
know more than I do.
And I barely know anything, and so does everyone else. This period of history, this dynasty, has left the world very influenced with very little information.
The thing that we can be certain is I'm sure he had something to keep himself in power.
Something.
But he,
Something.
but he,
I was thinking about, and I pulled open the book and I like flipped through a couple pages. You see this brooch? I swear to you, the King of Albanor is wearing it.
what does it do?
I don't know. But I can almost promise you that I've seen that on his outfits at formal ceremonies.
Everything from that dynasty has come back with something bizarre or evil, minus Zephyr hasn't been speaking to me in the middle of the night, which is fantastic. And your
Right?
circlet doesn't seem
My
to be
circlet's
controlling
fine.
you.
Not at all.
The eyeball was not okay.
The eyeball was not okay. And there was another.
The cloak.
There was a box. Very small box. That,
Like our cube.
like our cube, a lot worse than our cube. It took the souls from people that you killed them, and every 5 souls allowed you to cast a very powerful spell, kind of commonly known as the wish spell, because you can rewrite history with that spell.
Lots of stories about wishing on stars or on a lucky cow or a horseshoe or things like that. You're telling me you had possession of a box that you could kill 5 people and get anything you wished for. Tell me you fed it to the dragon.
No, a maniacal woman wearing a metal plate over her face demanded it, and frankly, I was wildly outmatched.
The same woman that I met you with?
Yeah, that one.
You know, it's a good thing Liv isn't walking in on this conversation because she would probably be like, I fucking told you so! That bitch was not to be trusted!
No, but she's elsewhere.
Melted her face to that mask.
Give a woman. Uh,
Well, here's the more concerning thing. She was working for a majocracy that does nothing but collect these artifacts because they believe that
and
a lot of humanity is too stupid for it to use them. So they're
what do
sitting
they do
and
with them?
hoarding them like dragons.
Are you certain they're hoarding them?
From what she
They're not
told me,
using
yes.
them?
I'm sure a couple of them have used them. Hell, I was tempted to use that box. Wouldn't you? At least be tempted, not actually do it.
There would be a temptation, but
Be
I
born
think in the
a king or a queen instead of a peasant. Be born a different race in a different time. Be born with gifted magical abilities. Be an all-powerful wizard. Undo death.
spells are not my thing.
Yeah. Well, apparently, they're getting to be more of your thing.
Blame Zephyr. Blame Zephyr.
I will
Spells
thank
were never my
Zephyr.
thing. That was my mother's thing. That was my
Zephyr.
brother's thing. That was
Oh,
not my thing. I followed my father. Bow and common sense.
Well, your mother sounds sweet.
She was many things. But now I know there's a box that grants wishes. You know, one of these days, just need to write a book about all these wondrous items and things like that. Aside from the book that you have.
You guys, as you're
But
talking, the
no one
door
would believe them.
opens and a slightly less wet Liv comes in.
Hey, Liv.
Hey,
Click.
you can cut this tension with a knife. You both doing alright in here?
Came across an interesting discovery. You remember the country we took out?
How could you forget?
Yeah,
A week ago?
we may have unleashed a weapon of mass destruction.
Sounds about our MO. What we gotta fix?
That's it. I don't know. There's a lot of unknowns here, but based off the research I've been doing, there's no way the Emperor of Goravia was not sitting on some of these, and I point at my circlet and her bow, artifacts.
Would explain a lot more of their weird secrecy and bullshit.
The thing is, people are destroyed by falling buildings. Magical objects are not.
True, so the question is, who else would know that they're there and would go for them now that the place is unguarded?
Or would even recognize them if they're even there.
They had mentioned prior that the area had been without magic. They'd been, banned from magic of some sort, if I
Given the
recall.
madness that was instilled by the Lord of Eyes, I'm wondering how much of that had been seeping into this emperor's strange rulings.
Wouldn't surprise me of a lot if he was locked away himself. I mean, there's no proof anyone had seen him. Regent
True.
could have just been acting on a dream that he still existed.
Wouldn't that be strange? Huh. Anyway, this is likely to come up again, so figure may as well all be sober and aware of the facts.
Isn't that just beautiful how we never have a day off?
I, for one, enjoy the adventuring lifestyle.
So do I, but I can't make money if we're always on the move.
Yeah, this is a pro bono mission, isn't it?
It's for Thurgle.
For Thurgle, he's worth it.
Very true. Maybe I'll just toss a hat around for some coin, play for the folks up deck. We'll see what happens.
I mean, in the grand scheme of things, when we took off from the docks, the look on Thurgle's face was just like a young child getting to taste sweet bread for the first time. It was magnificent.
Yeah. We'll do a free one for him. And I won't even hold it over him. Liv, you look really beat. Do you want to lay down?
Oh, I was just having fun up deck trying to catch someone's attention after that beating by the sea, but you know I never pass up a good rest. Where's my bag? Is it like just hanging out in the cabin?
Corner?
Perfect. I'm gonna walk over and I'm gonna pull out some of the cheese and bread that I packed for myself and climb into bed and just start chowing down.
Okay.
Approximately what time is it?
By now, probably close to 6-ish.
Cool.
I'm still learning the navigation of the sea. I can take approximations for now.
It's 6:04. It's definitely getting darker.
I'm just gonna go grab us some dinner we bring back and eat in our room, and can we take a long rest?
Sure.
Cool.
Yeah. Certainly attempt to do so.
Can
Sleep
I
through the
mark
night.
a long rest?
Before you do, I need everybody to please for me roll a 4.
Four.
4. Okay.
4.
2.
4 and 2. Okay. You all settle in for the evening. Have a little more soup, stew, whatever this kind of mix of things is that Pelagia makes. Warm, it's comforting, especially after, getting a little wet on the open ocean. You settle in for the night, so you reading, meditating, thinking, journaling, whatever it is you guys do. One by one, you all slowly drift sleep. Valerica, as you sleep, the warm and inky darkness of nothing, that dreamless sleep, gives way to a moment of comfort and joy. For the briefest of moments, feel a slight pressure on the shoulder. Turn your see a familiar hand clad in plate armor. Feel a glow. Look over and yeah, your lifelong. She looks down at you, her delicate feet tired, slight frown, otherwise light-hearted face. You remember her for her jovial, light-hearted name. Straightforward and practical, but light-hearted. But that is there, right? She turns face towards straight ahead, self standing. peak of a snowy. Look out behind you. See the foothills. The wide open tracts. Recognize or realize you're standing atop the Drake spire. Never been to the top, but you know the view. You recognize landmass. You turn around, you face where you know the ocean to be to the west. You feel a slight chill, calm, peaceful. Feel the hand on tighten slightly as look out. See the black smoke emerge. Crackling of purple and lightning. A ball of fire churns out smoke. Several seconds pass. And feel it impacts your body. Shockwave. Clear your eyes, you look, see this pinprick of light, glint of like light catching on a. You blink and turns to the gates of Orensburg, where you see the city on ash, desecrated land surrounding. Blink again and you see Orbury. Hard to see the landscape porch beyond recognition. Your eyes drawn to the sky, where again, like catch of red. Feel the hands once again. Lydia looks down at you. A look of a seriousness you haven't on her. Feel a slight push and drifts back slightly and find yourself in an plain landmark. See shadowy for you, stone archway, expertly symbol twists filigree. You hear a drumming sound as a swirl of magical energy fills the space within the archway. Your dream fades. Selima. You find sleep. Well, you find your meditation. It comes somewhat easily enough to you. And then you find your mind's eye drawn to a landscape that like you've traveled before, a long, flat plain of city nestled against the mountain. Peaceful, picturesque, cultivated landscape. Farms and peaceful, it's idyllic. You know to stay away from the city, but you find comfort in the small hamlet that you can see. And the little people and their little superstition. You hear popping sound echoing. Same sound heard creatures beyond have entered. Look around, trying to find any source. Nothing. Find yourself standing on the edge of an outcropping overlooking city. See two massive rows of columns, figures, armies dressed in and golds, one purples and reds and blacks, standing as the escape around them. You blink again, get a series of images flash. Purple. You see a tiny mote of light, almost too bright to look at, as a hand red skin, almost purplish, reaches perfectly rimmed black nails, grabs. You're surrounded once again by darkness. You think you blink, see before you a stone archway, carved pattern. Swirl of magical fills the space. And in your friends. Thurgle. Sleep finds you so you find yourself back at the Divine Sword soon enough. You hear the heavy thrumming of the massive hammers. But that's it. Everything else tuned out. You don't hear or see space. You're working on something, you're not sure what it is. And you're not worried about it. Have this thought. Could really use some insight. And you reach out for aid, holding your above the object. Channel. Feel nothing. So you're about to panic. You Blink, squeeze your eyes shut, open it. Find yourself at a small blacksmith shop that you recognize. You see the casting molds for bells. See the familiar work area, Karen's shop, and shake your head, clearing the fog. Get back to work. You attempt again to channel your godly power as you reach for that connection. You feel you as your head glowing as you blink again. You find yourself on the open seas, comfortable for a moment, were it not for the confusion of what you've seen. You look ahead and you see silhouette towards ships as you sail towards it. Blink, find yourself on its deck, looking around. See faceless crew members going about their business. You look and you see a tall figure. Can't quite make out its features. And you pass it off. Keep looking around. Feel a lurch. Like you feel your fill with. You think to struggle, but like you're wearing the cloak, simply snaps. As you float, endless expanse. It's the gradient, the dark. You see the columns of stone poking out from the darkness. Swim towards them, further away from. As you're surrounded by that darkness, float in place. See before you stone archway. The gathering fills the space within. Turn, sleep. Live.
She did have to go to bed, so I'm going to be taking some notes.
That's fair. You find rest comes easily. Holding onto the side of a ship. Not an easy thing for the body to do. Especially as these ships are moving very quickly. But your sleep is otherwise peaceful. And as you hear the sound of a bell, your eyes open, you look around and see your companions slowly starting to rise from their sleep as well. You may all mark a long rest. And we are going to pick it up next week on the second day of your journey. All right.
Sounds like a plan.
Just leave rest.
Yeah, mark your rest. Go ahead.
Mm-hmm.
Then you got your rest. Don't worry.
All right, yeah.
I wouldn't take a long rest from you like that.
Oh, no, I'm,
Well,
I'm
this time.
commenting on the lovely dreams.
Sure, sure. All right. Well, thank you guys. Great for your first sailing experience. Ended a fight very quickly and very spectacularly.
Fire tornado.
Fire
Forever going to be
tornado.
one of my favorites.
It's fantastic. Absolutely stunning. And now you know it might be a thing that you can do.
If we want to completely destroy something, yeah.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean,
All
I'm
right.
waiting for Manta Ray NATO too. I mean, who knows?
tornado. Sounds pretty legit. We almost had Kraken NATO going tonight.
Yeah. Did you get completely shredded? Yeah.
Yeah, just turn it
Calamari
into a
NATO.
Cool.
All right.
Well,
Well, thank
thanks
you.
The
everybody.
mercy killing.
Yeah, thank you
Thank
guys. It was great.
you.
We will see you next week. Yes. Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
All right. Looking forward to it. Get some rest, everyone. Sleep well. Thank you for playing. We will see you. Bye, guys.
Thank you.
Bye.